Sometimes I just let the music play. I need fucking glasses. God damn it.
You come in with your peepers every morning.
I know these dumb Rite Aid glasses are just not cutting it. I got a nice prescription when I was out in L.A. I know what my reading prescription is. I'm not going to share that with you. It's very private information.
I'm good. Good.
I love my Uber driver this morning, by the way. Yesterday's guy got 1 or 2 stars because he was awful.
Jim is now in the process of going in his Uber driver's car, and he looks at the map, except he's got to have his cell phone, a centimeter away from his face so he can see everything. You're like an old man.
Oh, no,
excuse me.
Hold it right there at arm's length. The man thinks I'm 25 years old.
This is how I know you don't have the right glasses, because you still squint like an old
vomiting
man.
as I'm looking across the table.
That's not nice. Travis is laughing, but he didn't turn his mic on, so it doesn't count.
Sounds like I bombed. Death is in there having a ball.
No, very funny.
Yeah, no, it wasn't a bomb.
Your face is puke-inducing. That's what he's saying.
No, I remember from before.
Okay.
You're homely. Oh, now.
You squint like an old man reading,
I know.
Even though your glasses are on, and it looks much worse.
The glasses, I have these awful fucking Rite Aid ones, but the lady was so nice who did my Lens Crafters one in L.A. My Uber driver, I wasn't in the car 4 seconds before he was beeping at people already.
You
this
like
guy
that?
Fucking ruled.
You like
yeah,
that?
because he cares.
Right.
He cares.
It shows passion.
Dude, we're going to make the first left. Fucked! He's all over the horn, and then the light turns red, and he still skirts through it.
I don't
Guy's
get
my idol.
I don't get
let me give him 5 stars while we speak.
Give him 5 stars. What's your Uber rating?
What do you mean mine?
You can check, because the drivers rate the passengers.
Mine is probably okay. Where can I check my own Uber rating?
I don't know, but I checked mine a while back, and I had a perfect 5 stars, which is very, very rare. But
Yeah, it is.
But for me,
Is it? I mean, if you sit in the car and you just go where you're supposed to go, how hard is it to get 5 stars?
Well, I've also used Uber for other people.
No, it's very rare. I've checked around.
That's where your rating is.
Okay.
What's your rating?
4.51. All right.
That's fine.
I got a higher one than Jim.
5.0, baby.
What do you got, Troy?
4.62.
Good for you, Troy.
Yeah, but I've also had some altercations.
You have had some altercations. I love, Uber ratings are like that episode of Black Mirror when you're sitting there like, oh yeah, 2 stars? Only 2 stars?
Hi, how are you? Bing, 1 star, being liked or not liked for every single interaction.
I love it.
Brilliant. Black Mirror is so good. Are they doing more of those? Do we know?
Yeah, I'm sure. The last season was very, very successful. When I saw Jurassic World, the Ron Howard's daughter is in it.
Oh,
And-
Bryce?
Yeah, Bryce Dallas Howard. And in the first scene, she's doing something on her phone. And I'm like, in my head, and I whispered to Jess as she was with me, I'm like, tell her to get that fucking phone away from her face.
That's right.
Because I just rewatched that and one other episode of Black Mirror. They're so good.
They're so good. The one where you could see somebody's memories.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, how great is that? If you haven't watched Black Mirror, you don't have. There's no order to them. Some are better than others, but none of them suck. Like even the one you didn't like, where those robotic dogs were chasing that lady.
Yeah.
I really loved the isolation of that one. I enjoyed that one.
I like the concept, but I just didn't. There were other episodes that I would watch. Like it took me 3 viewings to actually get through the whole episode.
I like Bryce Dallas Howard a lot. Like
Her name's Dallas.
Howard. I know I always mess it up. Bryce Dallas Howard. She's very pretty.
I do too.
Wouldn't mind giving her a big smooch.
Would you?
Yeah, a little hug and a kiss.
Huh. Would you be okay with the fact that her dad's Ron Howard?
Wouldn't bother me if she's like, look, my dad's going to bug you about doing movies. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay. That's why I just want a nice girl to smooch.
You are. You want a kiss on the lips.
Yeah.
That's
I make
nice.
that noise when I kiss her. A lot of girls don't like it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That's not good.
During the kiss?
Oh, yeah. No, on the way in. And during the kiss. On the way in, I'm like, come here. And that's like the climax of the kiss.
That really sets the mood.
Yeah.
It's giving me the chills,
like
actually.
that?
No.
Why?
those
On the
are-
way in?
It's creepy.
It's really grossing me out, man.
Is it?
It's really bad because part of it harkens back to trying to feed a small child and going, here comes the plane. Ooh.
Now you just got to tickle the feet.
Okay.
Coochie coochie. And they go, and you put the baby food in.
It's only 7 minutes in, including the intro.
That's right. I'm teaching you things, boy. So I feel like I do need glasses. I want to talk about 50 Cent, who, look, Maybe what he said wasn't...
This is why you need glasses.
I
So you can look at 50 Cent's Instagram crystal clear.
I love 50 Cent, even though, like, you know, what he said might not be pleasant, but here's what I love about him. He doesn't give a fuck.
No.
I love the fact that this guy is the last guy just saying whatever the fuck he wants to say. Some people like it. Some people hate him for it. He doesn't give a fuck.
50 Cent has reached a very, very interesting point in his career and with his bank account.
That's what happens when you're shot 9 times. It becomes harder to get upset when people are criticizing you.
Right. When you're shot 9 times and then you make $1 billion from buying stock in vitamin water, you tend not to give a fuck anymore. Plus, it doesn't hurt that, you know, he had one album that's regarded as a classic, and when his music career started to dry up, he put out Power, which is like a hugely popular show, except for one actor.
Well, you don't let me finish. No,
What were
the
you
casting
saying?
was so good.
Oh, right. Yeah, no. Aside from a few issues, yeah. So 50 Cent.
He's such an ass.
It really is a total asshole move. He doesn't care.
Wow.
So
That's
Terry,
the beauty of him. He just doesn't. He doesn't give a fuck.
everybody was talking about Terry Crews, who you guys know from like Brooklyn Nine-Nine and shows like that, and the Old Spice commercials. He's a big, strong man. He used to be a football player.
But who did he play for?
I think the Rams. Is that right?
I don't know.
I want to say the Rams,
I've
but
heard
whatever.
the name said that way.
Rams. I phrased it as a question.
Yeah, he was. We interviewed him once. He's a big guy.
Huge, but very, very likable guy. Yeah, it looks like I don't know what these helmets mean. I think the Rams. We'll say Rams.
Okay.
So 50. Yeah, there he is. He played for the Rams. Scroll down one. You can see
And
right
the
there.
Redskins and the
Rams,
Eagles.
Chargers,
Oh, Chargers.
Redskins, Eagles.
I think that was a Chargers helmet that we saw in that.
I don't know anything about these football players.
So he was at a party with his wife and a William Morris agent, who I don't know.
Very powerful man.
Terry Crews said the guy grabbed his dick or patted his dick in front of his wife, was it one of those things where the guy thought he was being funny, or was he trying to be dirty, or was he like just being a... I don't understand why you do that in front of a guy's wife unless you're completely drunk.
Or you might be drunk and you really want to exercise power.
But I don't like this whole thing about exercising power. In what scenario do you think you have? Like, how is that powerful to patting his dick? I don't get how that's powerful.
If you're fucked up. Well, because...
If you're fucked up, maybe.
If you're fucked up, and also because this is a guy who normally, if I wasn't a very powerful agent in Hollywood, he wouldn't allow me to grab his dick.
He punched me in the face.
Right.
What did Terry Crews do? Because Terry Crews said the assault lasted a few minutes. First of all, a few minutes? Like, how long did the guy have his hand on your dick for?
Yeah, that's somebody jerking you off. That's like shaking more than twice and you're playing with it territory.
Yeah, it's like... did the guy just pat his dick in what turns out to be a very stupid move?
It seems like the guy just grabbed him. I think he said, so Terry Crews, he testified to this yesterday. That's why it was in the news again. He must have meant moments when he said minutes. There's no way that it could have lasted minutes. And if his wife is standing right there, his wife would have been like, we've been here for minutes. What are you doing? We got to go.
We have to go.
Let go of his
smiling.
Let go of his dick. We have to leave.
Yeah, it was probably just a quick thing. And maybe Terry Crews was embarrassed or shocked. Because the obvious thing is, hey, he should have punched the guy in the face. But then if he punches the guy in the face, he's probably afraid he's going to ruin his career and go to jail.
Right. Maybe, this was a few years ago. Maybe he wasn't so secure in his career in Hollywood.
I know, but he was talking about this shit. So he's probably like, I can't just punch this guy or I'll ruin everything.
And you're right about the jail thing. Because he goes, how's this going to look? Big, angry black guy punches poor, defenseless white guy?
Yeah.
Or...
Did he say that?
No. I'm just theorizing. Or is it, victim of sexual assault? But he went up. Do you want to hear a little bit of his
really
testimony?
Want to hear it. Yes.
We got it, clip 6, Cruise 1.
In 2016, while at a party with my wife, I was sexually assaulted by a successful Hollywood agent. The assault lasted only minutes. But what he was effectively telling...
I know it's probably nerve-wracking to testify in front of Congress, but he does sound like he's doing a book on tape.
Dude, I was going to say, this is why Terry Crews is a motivational speaker. That's the other thing that I'm sure that he does. Because he sounds like he's, ready to engage the people. He's not... It doesn't sound like he's talking about an experience. It sounds like he's acting.
And I guess...
Not that he is. I'm not implying that he is. I'm just saying that the technique that he chose to do.
I guess that maybe that technically is an assault. To me, a grope it doesn't sound like an assault. Just because whenever you say assault, I'm thinking of somebody being held down and.
Well, that's rape.
I didn't even mean penetrate. I mean, or just like pushed up against a wall, or there being a violence to it. Maybe because the word assault is what's throwing me off. But I get
unwanted touch is assault. Yeah, it is assault. If somebody grabs your dick, it's assault. That's assault, brother. I've been assaulted by Russell Peters. I've been assaulted by Bert Kreischer. It's assault.
It's not assault though because you came both times.
Okay. I didn't realize that was a technicality.
Certainly.
Okay, then I take back my initial claim.
So I guess it is assault. It just my definition of assault, or what I would consider assault on me, might be different.
Well, you don't write the laws, Norton.
No, I'm just telling you about the front of my pants.
Okay, go on.
Assault lasted only minutes.
How did it last minutes?
There's no, I think...
Sorry, in moments?
Moments.
How did it last minutes?
There's no way that he could have been... Because it was a party. He wasn't in a private room. His wife was right there. You can't tug on a guy's dick for minutes.
Did he grab it or pat? What the fuck did the guy do?
Troy, how long... If I was a very powerful guy, right?
Yeah.
And I was in control. Let's say I was in charge of like a lot of record labels, and let's say I'm Pitbull and I have my own radio station, right?
Yeah.
How long could I hold on to your dick for before you were like, okay, like I get that you're powerful, but enough is enough?
Yeah, a couple seconds, you'd move away. But like, what happens if there's a conversation going on and he's joking? Maybe it's not like a full grab and hold.
Right.
Maybe he's grabbing it and then he backs away and he's talking to him and then he touches it again.
He just keeps going for it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could equate to minutes.
No, that's true if he just keeps going back to it. Like, what about this dick of yours, huh? And he just keeps going back to shake it. Yeah, I guess so.
Or let's just say you're negotiating with one of the bosses.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the guys down the hall, and they put their hand on your dick, and they say you get an extra $10,000 a year for every minute you let me leave my hand here.
Let me tell you something. We'd be there for weeks. I'd be looking at him going like, really? You want me to tap out before you?
Not happening.
Yeah, you're going to get writer's cramp.
This is fucking Sammy Chisler muffins.
Oh, yeah. No way. That's another zero? That's another zero?
Yeah, their hand would cramp up. All right.
Yeah, no problem. And then I'd go home and I'd brag to Jess about what a shrewd negotiator I was.
Yeah, sorry, don't touch my helmet. It's raw. Sorry, he said minutes, but he probably meant moments. Okay.
Yeah, I would hope that he meant moments. Oh, yeah. I would take that deal in a
Yeah,
heartbeat.
I don't blame you. Yeah, even if it was a mouth.
Fine.
Yeah, sure.
Probably have to, if it's a mouth, it's probably got to be a little more than, if it's 10 grand a minute for the hand.
15 grand a minute. They're not going to go crazy. This company's cheap.
Okay.
15 G's a minute for the mouth.
All right, I'll do it.
I know you would.
I'll do it. I'll be a rich man by the end of it, too.
800,000 a year. What the fuck happened?
Yeah, and by the way, we're signing a long-term deal under this number.
Was effectively telling me while he held my genitals in his hand was that he held the power, that he was in control. This is how toxic masculinity permeates culture. As I shared my story, I was told over and over that this was not abuse, that this was just a joke.
Jim.
This was just horseplay.
Jim.
No, I asked it because that's how what my first thought was. So you ask it.
Well, we do come from the comedy world where literally Russell Peters and Bert Kreischer are the two that I can think of have both grabbed my genitals in a jovial manner.
How many times I've poked Bob Kelly's dick just to annoy him?
You have?
Yes. Or we're talking, I'll just poke his dick. Or he's poked my dick. It's just childish. But then, we're friends. Bob's not with his wife at a party.
There is something among people that you like that it can be funny to just grab
Make them uncomfortable.
Pinch of the helmet. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess other people said that to him. So.
Or ball tap.
Yeah, nice ball tap, like one of the like a backhanded thwack.
Yeah,
we used to do that as kids.
Because it's amazing. Like you realize
you used to do that to who?
Just me and my friends. You'd go up and just be like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" Put your hands up to high five him and just whack him right in the nuts.
Because it's amazing. You realize that it's all about the snap motion.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to hit hard at all.
No.
You just go you just almost lightly tap, and it causes so much testicle pain. Oh. No, you don't do that, Jim. Oh, I'm gonna punch your balls. Yeah. No. No.
Say that one man's horseplay is another man's humiliation.
I will say that if you're going to grab a guy by the penis, and you're going to play it off as a joke, you kind of do have to build that...
you better know him really well.
Yeah, you have to build that relationship.
And to do that to a guy like Terry Crews, who's such a fucking big guy and an ex-football player who could, throw you through a brick wall in front of his wife, that's a cocksucking asshole move.
Like, I've gone to dinner with Jonathan, your manager, many, many times. Brought up his bulge many, many times.
But everyone brings it up.
Right. It comes up all the time. Lunch, dinner, whatever. In front of strangers, all of it. However, I don't think I've built up the familiarity with him just yet that I would actually grab him by the bulge. I would in all these years wouldn't dream of poking his bulge. No. Talk about it.
Making fun of it.
And point it out.
Making him uncomfortable.
That's right.
Sure.
But not to touch.
No.
No, you have to know.
Touch.
If you're going to touch, you have to know that it's going to be reciprocated the way you intend it to be. Whether it's in humor...
Yes.
Or, foreplay, if you're just sending out your signals.
No, I wouldn't touch my manager's bulge.
No, I don't think it would be a good idea, Jim. Has Jonathan ever done that to you to show you where the power is?
Never.
Oh.
Never.
There's a second
clip. Let's go to the second clip.
Has there been retaliation against you for what you are saying now to the public?
Thank you for your question, Senator. One specific incident of retaliation was... I've done 3 movies called The Expendables with Sylvester Stallone. The producer of that film called my manager and asked him to drop my case in order for me to be in the 4th installment of the movie. And if I didn't, there would be trouble.
Oof. Oh, boy.
Oh, dear. Senator...
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did a senator just say, oh, dear?
Maybe he got worried that The Expendables 4 wasn't going to come out.
Has that movie been finished yet?
Expendables 4?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Because they better write Terry Crews a role.
Oh, dear.
Because I'm going to tell you, if that's how a senator reacts, and there's some kind of proof of that, that's really bad. Fucking ugly lawsuit.
That's really bad.
Your guy grabs your dick and you're filing charges and they're saying drop that case or you're out of the movie?
Yeah. I mean, that is the definition of using power to sexually assault. That
It's a terrible move by them.
If you could prove that, it's indefensible. Especially when you got senators going, oh dear.
Oh dear. Can we hear that again?
Yep.
Oh dear. That's a very bad reaction.
The 4th installment of the movie. And if I didn't, there would be trouble.
Oh, dear. Senator Klobuchar.
Well, thank you very much. Are you going to be in the 4th installment, I hope?
No. Because, I'm sorry. Thank you for your question, Senator.
That's good. That's very polite. Thank you.
Yes. Simply because this same producer is he's under his own sexual assault investigation.
Yeah.
And, abusers protect abusers. And this is one thing I had to do.
Oh, boy. Whoever that producer is.
Not good.
Well, look him up on Expendables. Then again, there might be 5 of them.
There's probably a bunch.
Yeah. But, man, that is very, very
because it's not like, for us here right now, we're probably not going to narrow it down just because who knows.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be all that difficult to figure out which one of the producers is protecting people.
Producer threatened trouble over lawsuit.
Oh, boy.
Drop your... Oh, dear. And then the other one goes, well, you're in the Expendables 4, I hope.
Yeah, and he's like, unfortunately
oh, dear. And you're in that movie, I hope.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You think they're watching this going like, I don't think they'll take his side? Oh, no.
You got an oh, dear, and then you got you're in that movie, I hope.
Yeah.
That's what my manager says whenever I audition. Well, you made it in the movie, I hope.
Yeah, and you're like... and
cut me out.
Yeah, and then after that, he goes, oh, dear.
Oh, dear.
Avi Lerner is the producer.
Yeah, I know their name. I don't know him.
And what's he in trouble for?
Asking Terry Crews to drop his...
Oh, he's the producer who did it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's he produced?
The Expendables 4.
Has he done a bunch of... Yeah, no, I've heard his name. I don't know.
Oh, man, he's an attractive guy. Look at him right there. He's the one on the far left. Oh, you'd think Avi, if he's looking for dick, he could just get it.
Oh, okay.
He's just an old man.
A bunch of movies.
American Ninja 2, Trespass, The Paperboy, all about that Paperboy. Expendables 2, The Iceman, Texas Chainsaw 3D.
Wow.
So this is a guy who makes a lot of money producing shit.
Yeah. Well, all right, what else did Terry Crews say? Because that was a great clip so far.
Oh, my God.
Decide whether I was going to draw the line on, am I going to be a part of this or am I going to take a stand? And there are projects I had to turn down.
You know, one thing I
Terry
say,
Crews.
this is probably for Terry. This is kind of ballsy to do for him because it's embarrassing.
No pun intended.
No, it's embarrassing when you're this big alpha guy.
Of course it is.
To have to go out and go like, yeah, this guy touched my dick in front of my wife.
Especially when you got
humiliating.
And a lot of people going like, oh, come on. Right?
Yeah, come on, shut up, Terry.
Right.
That's embarrassing. And he's going out and just saying like, no, this is it is what it is.
I tell you, the movie Evidence, that's tough to overcome because you go like, okay, again, we talk about it. In order for it to be abuse, what is being hung over his head? Like, why wouldn't he say something? What is stopping him? And then you go, no, here's the movie. Here's the producer. Here's why I'm not in it. Here's the phone call that was made.
How much is Terry Crews?
Oh boy!
How much is Terry Crews suing the guy for?
I think $1,500.
Oh, I would have thought more.
No, they're doing it on people's court, so you can't go that high.
Did they say or no?
I don't know how much he's suing him for, but
maybe look. Oh yeah, see if you go with Terry Crews' lawsuit. Like maybe they'll have a number, maybe not.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Has the agent been fired, or is he still? Because
I don't think so.
Oh, he's still working. Okay.
Yeah, because I think that there wasn't proof. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's easier for these agents to survive threats like this because they're not public people. For actors and for public people, comedians, whoever it is, the minute the accusation gets thrown out, it's everywhere. And since you're a public person, it becomes very difficult to get your audience back. When you're private, when you're behind the camera, you can kind of sneak under the radar because nobody's familiar with the name, nobody knows who the agent is, nobody knows who the producer is. They just know a thing happened.
Yeah, I don't know the agent.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess he sounded good in front of was it the Senate or Congress? Both?
Yeah, the government.
Yeah, he's in front of somebody.
Right. Then 50 Cent came out. Like most of us.
Oh yeah, 50 Cent.
Most of us had the same reaction to this. Wow. Like even the people that were skeptical at first were listening to his testimony going like, okay, this is the real deal. 50 Cent posted a photo on his Instagram, and it shows a photo of Terry Crews with no shirt on, flexing, and the caption says, I got raped. My wife just watched.
And he's sitting there shirtless.
Right, with his big muscles showing. And then there's a photo under him of Terry Crews holding a rose in his mouth, and it says gym time.
GYM time. Why does it say gym time? I don't understand what that means with the rose.
I don't know.
Is that an expression?
No.
I mean, gym time, but like, why the rose in the mouth, gym time?
Maybe because it makes him look a little silly. He's got to go back to the gym.
And then 50 Cent wrote,
LOL, what the fuck is going on out here, man? Terry, I froze in fear. And then he says, they would have to take me to jail. Get that strap. Meaning he's like saying, ha. Yeah, I would have gotten a gun if somebody did that to me. What the fuck is Terry Crews doing?
Yeah.
He got a lot of very negative feedback behind that. Very negative feedback. He ended up deleting the Instagram post.
Actually.
Because, he's not thinking about the ramifications. He's not thinking about the deeper issues. He's not thinking about the Terry trying to protect his career and having jobs threatened and all this stuff. So, yeah. But he was the only show business person that still decided to make fun of Terry Crews.
He did take it down, though.
He did take it down.
Wow.
He did take it down because it was not mixed.
And what did he put after that?
It was zero positive feedback.
Okay.
Let's go to his last video that he posted.
I don't think this is about...
No, this is the Bow Wow Challenge. So there's nothing up there.
Oh, he did take it all down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he took down his Terry Crews stuff. Probably smart.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Wait. Yeah, very good.
Today, 50 Cent took a shot at you on one of his posts, saying that saying with how big you are, how could this have happened to you?
Yeah.
And he said if it had happened to him, he would have grabbed this strap.
Well, I love 50 Cent. I listen to his music while I'm working out. That's the deal.
Amanda, the stairs.
I love it.
Anything about
Terry Crews handling it.
Is that something is that a fair comment by him?
Well, first of all, I proved that size doesn't matter when it comes to sexual assault.
Appreciate it, sir.
I mean, I would also say it's realistic for Terry Crews to say, I couldn't have shot the man at the party.
Well, yeah, he could have punched him, but then again, he would have gotten arrested for assault.
50 is exactly right. 50's response to that video. The caption is, "This is it. This is what I didn't understand. Get the strap." I don't think 50 Cent is shooting anybody anymore.
No, but I mean, again, where he comes from in the world he comes from, and what's happened to him, it's like, it's a reasonable comment.
I believe it's a reference to Power.
It's probably
Get the strap.
Yeah, it's probably something they say on Power.
Yeah.
I probably know that, but I don't.
That's what he's doing.
He's promoting his show by being like, "Look at this fucking guy."
Yeah, but I think he's kind of misreading though the way people react to this stuff. Like if you're promoting your show, as a guy, I like that he says whatever he wants. But if you're promoting your show, it's probably not the best way to do it.
No, it might not be that effective.
He's ruthless though, man. He goes after everybody.
50, he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah, I do kind of like that he doesn't care.
I like that too. I like a guy who does it. I don't have to agree with him.
You don't have to like what he says.
No. Just the idea that there are a few people left that just act as if there are no consequences to their actions. That's fun to watch. It used to be, by the way, like there was a time when musicians would piss people off. It's what they did. Like that was part of it, right? Like you would make parents scared, and you would get adults would be angry.
I would throw my Funyuns all over the floor.
You would?
Yeah.
Would you step on them and crunch them up or pick them up?
No, I'd pick them up.
Yeah, okay, because that makes a mess. You don't want to do that.
Okay, yeah, there's a picture of a yacht. Gonna take his grandfather on a yacht?
Yeah.
That's a nice fucking boat.
Wow.
Holy shit. I want to go on a yacht.
You think that's really his yacht?
No, he probably rented it, but I want to go on a yacht.
It says, "I'm taking my grandfather away for a few days. He said, get a boat. So I'm just going to do what he says. Oh, get the strap." He says it again. Yeah, I guess that's just a line from Power. I don't know.
Oh, wait, I've never, go back. It's always.
I've never had a reason. I've never had a reason to watch one episode of Power. So
me either.
I have a reason to watch one episode.
What?
It's probably my premiere.
Nope.
No.
Oh, is it?
No. Is one episode you enjoyed?
Is it Jim Norton's send off?
Yep. Yeah, I would watch that one.
Jim Norton's character. How did you end up being written off that show?
Cancer.
It was a slow goodbye.
3 seasons of me waving and nodding and the slow Hulk walk away music. All right. This guy, in North Carolina. Let's go to Nick in North Carolina.
Let's go to Nick. What's up, bud?
Hey, good morning, guys. All 50 Cent is doing is questioning this guy's story in a funny way, but it's with this Me Too stuff, you can't even do that. You can't question somebody. And the motive for him to make this up is pretty obvious. I mean, he's a B-list actor at best, and he's got all this attention on him. He'll probably get money either out of this case or he'll get more offers.
Terry Crews was not having any difficulty finding work.
Yeah, dude, he was on. Wasn't he on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
Yeah.
He also was in 3 of the Expendables. I mean, dude, he's working and he's making a shitload of money. Yeah, he's a very, very known guy. He's not some guy who's just like you didn't hear of.
Oh no, I disagree. He is not an A-list celebrity.
Well, nobody's saying he's an A-list,
but he's still really well known enough where he doesn't need to put himself through this shit to make some money.
Yeah, he's literally taking time off work so he can do this. Like he doesn't need the work.
He can say that all he wants. Who knows what his situation is? He might need the money.
Dude, you can look at his resume and see that he works.
And maybe he outspends his earnings. I don't know.
Do you see how far do you see how far you're stretching to not give him the benefit of the doubt?
Yeah, like when you look at his resume, dude, the guy works. Do you know how much they make on sitcoms after 5 years on Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
It could be as much as $2,500 per episode.
Well, I wasn't going to go like that high, but
it could be.
But yeah, he could literally be making $40,000 or $50,000 a week. I mean, he's making a lot of money. Dude.
The argument doesn't make any sense because he's not making any money by testifying in front of Congress.
Yeah, he's not making a lot of money. Who knows how much his lawsuit is for?
The lawsuit, yeah, but that's completely separate. Like,
yeah, it's not Congress.
He doesn't gain anything by
profile.
What's that?
This raises his profile.
It has nothing to do with his lawsuit, though.
What are you talking about? Of course it does. It raises his profile such that, look, this is the issue du jour, right? I mean,
so you can only file a lawsuit and win if you have a high profile?
Yeah.
Nick, so I
mean, that makes no sense.
Do you think you're just taking the other side of the argument?
Making the claim at all. Making this claim, trying to glob onto the Me Too movement that's just a way for him to increase his
So Nick, your theory is the first thing you think that this is believable, that originally he wanted to get attention for himself by doing Old Spice commercials and making jokes and flexing his pectorals. But now he's decided that instead he'll accuse another man of grabbing his dick.
All I'm saying is I don't know his situation. I know that Johnny Depp has made about $500 million
more than that
in salary, and he's still bankrupt.
Yeah.
So I don't think I don't think anybody knows anybody's personal situation, and he might have been up against it. He might have not been happy with where his career was. He might have saw this as a way to do it. But my point is, I don't know whether that's true or not. But it's wrong to condemn 50 Cent and get all just because he is questioning it.
We didn't condemn 50 Cent.
No, I know you didn't.
Oh, okay.
I know you didn't. But as far as the Instagram goes, he has to take it down.
He doesn't have to. He chose to.
And I don't think people, dude. I don't think people condemned him because he was questioning. The people who got mad at him, I'm guessing because he was making fun of him. My guess is if he wasn't questioning him, if he said like, "Hey, we don't know what really happened," I don't think they would have gotten as mad at him. But the fact that he was goofing on him is probably why they got pissed.
Well, and to take 50 Cent's post on head on, is it not a legitimate issue to raise that this dude is freaking ripped, and he's he's claiming that he was not able to resist. That to me is a lot different than a woman in that situation.
Well, for most of us, we think of it differently. There are physical differences, but you have to admit, like the way you're making the argument, let's just say that no one said anything about his post. You'd probably be calling up and going, can you imagine if that was a woman who was raped and 50 Cent made fun of her? They would have. So it's like there's no winning with anything. Like if 50 Cent makes fun of Terry Crews, there's people who are mad. Like, go, come on, he's just questioning it. If 50 Cent doesn't get in shit for it, people would get mad and go, because if that was a woman who was raped and he made fun of it, people would have got. It's just a fucking. Everyone's running into circle, biting each other's assholes out.
Or a white guy couldn't have posted that.
Yeah, it's just. Yeah, exactly. Like, he's a black guy who gets in trouble for making fun of another black guy, and people are saying, well, come on, he was just questioning it. But if it is anything else, people would get mad that this wasn't... We just like to bitch at each other. Right. That's the point.
Right.
Yeah. The fact of the matter is, it's not racial at all.
No, I know it's not.
I mean, if a white guy did it, that wouldn't matter.
No, but I'm just saying the arguments people make. No, I don't think it's racial for you. I'm not saying...
No.
Yeah, I understand.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, but if it was... It does matter, though. It does matter that it's a dude who's freaking jacked.
But it doesn't matter in the sense, like, if Terry Crews isn't saying, hey, I was held down by a small agent with glasses and brutally sodomized, he's just saying that this guy grabbed his dick. If what he's saying is true and this guy grabbed his dick at a party in front of his wife, that is a shitty thing because everyone knows in real life Terry Crews could fucking break this guy's neck. Right. And this guy wouldn't do this in the real world. Like, he wouldn't do this if they're just two guys alone in the locker room. We don't walk into Terry Crews and grabbing his dick. You're doing this because you're in a party and you can get away with it.
And Terry Crews cited a specific example of why. He talked about a specific movie and threatening to not be a part of that movie. And the fact that this situation made it so that he's not doing that movie.
Yeah.
I don't think he's turning down work to raise his profile so he can get more work.
Yeah, dude, if he lost the Expendables 4 and he's done the first 3, that is not exactly...
That's real money.
Doesn't bode well with your theory.
Yeah, I disagree.
Okay, all right, brother.
Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Let's go to Nelson in Ohio. What's up, Nelson?
Yeah, is he full?
Oh,
hey, Jim. How you guys doing?
I know.
Just a half.
Yeah, I know. Oh, boy. Go ahead, Nelson.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good, man.
Hey, I like Terry Crews. He's a funny dude. But it's kind of ironic that we're, Friday After Next, he got paid to play a character that was going to rape Cat Williams. and now it's, it basically happened to him.
Well, yeah, thanks, buddy. I'm cutting you off because your phone was making weird clicky noises. But yes, I mean, I don't think that was actually Terry Crews as much as it was a character Terry Crews was portraying. But there was, yes, he has threatened assault in multiple movies. But he's a big guy.
Yeah,
this is Terry Crews. He's a big guy.
Yeah,
it really is interesting watching people get hypocritical. We didn't talk about the Huckabee Sanders thing yesterday, where she was thrown out of the restaurant?
No.
But it's amazing that these people who are so mad, like, The people who threw Huckabee Sanders out of a restaurant because she's part of the Trump administration are the people that don't like Trump's exclusionary methods. Like it is so clearly you're now becoming the thing that you're fighting.
Yeah, that restaurant can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you like the lady or not, and you don't like who she works for. That's her job, you dumb motherfucker. What is she supposed to not do her job as the White House spokesperson? Like, what press secretary? What is she not going to do it? What is she supposed to do? Stand up there and go, "You're right, press.
Right.
I don't like him either." What do you want her to do? It's her fucking job.
And that's what we want. We want to now figure out, okay, there's restaurants for Trump supporters and there's restaurants for non-Trump supporters. That should work out really, really well. It's such a stupid thing to do. And to watch people fighting something, to fight in the exact same way as the thing that they're fighting against is asinine.
People really are fucking assholes.
Total assholes.
Do you think that the people that were happy about this were upset that baker didn't have to make that cake?
Of course.
Wait. The people who are happy about this?
Mm-hmm.
Right, exactly. The people who threw her out were probably mad about the baker.
The gay wedding cake.
Yeah, it's no one gives a fuck about anything but their own point of view. They don't care about anything. We're all just self-centered assholes.
Yeah.
Like, if you say what I like, I'm 100% behind you. And if you don't, fuck you. Fuck your right to exist. Fuck your right to express yourself.
Because the minute people go like, okay, well, fine. Yeah, I know that's what I'm fighting. But if they're going to do it, I'll do it. Like, people are like, well, you know, Donald Trump has made the discussion such a toxic environment. So you can only expect the fact that it would come back on us. Really? Well, once you're doing it, you can't fight it anymore. If you're doing the same thing that you're fighting against, the fight's over. We've all picked what side we're on, and it's throw people out of restaurants.
And the Supreme Court, they sided on the side of the person to not make the cake. Hey, look, I don't agree with it, but I get it. I think you have to serve the public equally, but that's what the Supreme Court said.
Supreme Court.
I think you're a bigoted piece of shit if you don't want to make a cake.
Yeah.
And people who use the Nazi example, what if you're a Jew? Should you make a nut? Okay, if you think that's the same thing. Yeah, all right, fine. But then the next time an interracial couple walks in and says, "I'm black, my wife," be feared not to make them a cake because your religion tells you don't have to.
Yeah.
Next time two black people walk in to get married, or the next time two Jews walk in to get married, or two Catholics, or whatever the fuck it is, you tell them you don't want to make them a cake.
I agree with you 100%. But
fuck you.
The idea that fight is now showing itself in, okay, well, if we're not allowed in your restaurant, you can't come in ours.
Yeah.
Well, you're the same thing then.
Yeah, that
it's
restaurant
exactly the same
thing.
thing.
They made me sick throwing her out like that.
And then, like,
just a fucking person going to eat. Shut up.
Let's listen to that Maxine Waters. I don't know anything about Maxine Waters.
She's a very reasonable woman.
She's sitting there,
pleasant lady,
and she's rallying people to harass.
She backed off on it a little bit.
She did.
Except
she didn't really take ownership of it. She backed off as if to say, like, no. What I meant was, no, what I said was.
Yeah.
But clearly, if you listen to the original clip, she's rallying people to bother and harass anybody that supports or works for Trump whenever they see him. She said, if you see him pumping gas, rally around them, get a mini protest going around them. If they're getting groceries, bother them. Like,
right.
She was
and then try to fuck with Maxine Waters in her personal life, and her fucking security will be all over you.
Right. She was basically what she was advocating for was the type of behavior that what's her face Ivanka Trump had to deal with her kids on that airplane that time,
JetBlue flight, yeah,
which was unacceptable. But I mean, this idea that like the people who don't like Trump see what Trump is doing as toxic. Okay, well then we'll fight with our own toxic behavior. Well then you're all the same thing.
And then she quotes that God is on their side. Shut the fuck up. God doesn't give a shit.
Maxine.
If there is a God, you think God's watching going, good job, Maxine.
Yeah.
Shut your face.
It made me want to be like, Maxine, it's a goddamn fairy tale. What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Assholes like, woo!
Yeah.
Quiet.
Because God gives a fuck who the president is, right?
Really, yeah, he's worried about our politics.
God is worried about the minutia of every 4 years.
Yeah.
He's not sitting there thinking about billions and billions of years. And he created the earth, but he's worried about who's sitting in the White House.
It's just idiots.
Yes, Maxine.
Good point.
He's all about you.
Everyone thinks God's no one does anything who believes in God and says, boy, God thinks I'm a cunt. No one says that. When is one fucking person who talks about God and anywhere in the world,
Jim,
going to go, wow, God thinks I'm a hunk of shit, but I'm going to do this anyway.
God makes no mistakes, Jim.
Everyone thinks God is on their side. The Jews think so, and Muslims think so.
How could it be?
Did you guys ever sit at the table and go, wow, one of us is dead wrong?
Right.
At least one of us doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about.
We got to figure this out right now. Because one of us, we both believe, one of us is totally wrong. One of us should really change the way we do things.
Do people who are on opposite sides of the God issue ever look at us and go like, one of us, we both are smart people, and at least, if not both, but at least one of us is a dumb cunt, and has no idea what the fuck we're talking about?
Yeah. No. Your God story is made up. That's just something that you guys say. Our God story is right.
It's fucking exhausting.
It's insane.
It's exhausting.
It's insane.
I can't even listen to Maxine. I heard the clip. It annoyed me. God is shut up. He's not on your side. Didn't give a fuck. If he's there, he doesn't care.
Yeah, and she was evoking the name of God to allow rude behavior. She's like, don't worry about harassing people because God is on your side.
Yeah, because God's curious as to what's he didn't do a whole lot to stop the Holocaust.
Yeah,
he turned his head for 6 million people being thrown in pits. But, in this case, he's going to notice who's at a gas station and go, yeah, get some folks around him.
Yeah, if God wanted Trump supporters to be harassed, he would have sent some angels down to Earth to be like, hey, don't forget to vote.
Yeah,
it would have been so easy.
Or how about in Prophecy? He would have sent Christopher Walken. Ow! You're at a gas station. Ow! I do love that movie. You ever see it?
No.
Prophecy is really good.
You think Archangel Christopher Walken would have been like, fuck Donald Trump?
No. He wouldn't care.
Archangel Chris Walken would not care.
No.
Okay.
He didn't give a fuck.
He's got bigger fish to fry.
He didn't like people.
Right.
People were talking monkeys. Because the angels are mad that the talking monkeys got God's favor.
And how would he say it?
Talking monkeys.
I see.
It's such a good movie.
I gotta see this film.
I do love it.
I gotta see this film.
It's not his best work, like as far as like Pulp Fiction. Have you seen it, Travis?
I don't think so.
The film is called Catch Me If You Can.
Oh yeah, that's a great movie.
No.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
that's the one when he dips his wife while they're dancing, right?
That's right.
Yep.
Where you going, Frank? Where you going?
Where you going this weekend?
Where you going this weekend? Someplace nice?
Have you seen this, Troy?
No.
No one's seen Prophecy with Christopher Walken.
Nobody's seen this goddamn movie.
Is it better than Catch Me If You Can?
No.
Catch Me If You Can is
he's
wonderful.
Good, though. Christopher Walken he has to get this. It's a movie about a soul. Like some little girl has an evil soul. Whatever reason he needs it. Fuck yeah.
No wonder you like it.
But he's trying to get this soul, and just to see him with jet black hair playing the Archangel, I think is Michael. He plays Michael. Is great.
Oh, you're thinking
Gabriel.
of Michael with John Travolta.
Oh, no. Now that's a movie.
Yeah.
No, I've never seen that movie.
Where Michael comes down to Earth and John Travolta's got his long hair and his wings.
Yep,
he's
that's
Gabriel.
What you're thinking of.
Yeah.
He plays evil angel. He plays or Archangel Gabriel.
And now I think you're thinking of the film Michael
No.
with John Travolta.
No.
What was that?
There's a little John Travolta.
How did it go?
What was that? What the hell is that? Oh my God, his dumb dimple.
That's right.
How awful is Michael?
That's the movie you're thinking of. I've seen that.
That's right. What's nice about John Travolta's dimple is it definitely wasn't surgically implanted.
Was it really?
John Travolta, in my
His
opinion,
dimple stinks.
in my opinion, John Travolta's dimple is about as natural as Troy's tits.
I could say something. I have a theory as
No
to,
offense on that, Troy.
I have
That's
a
not
theory as to why John, what's been tapped on his chin enough times to create a dimple. It's just my theory.
Yeah, you watch it, and it's insane. Maxine Waters, though, is completely rolling back what she was saying because she knows
she better.
Like, and it's as if people never learn. Like they're trying to fight Trump, right? Using his own, like they're letting Trump set the rules, and they're just using Trump rules to fight him, which is what every candidate that was running against Trump tried to do the same thing, and they all lost miserably.
Yeah.
I honestly think that stuff like this, people are going to somehow, this group of people that think that it's a good idea to harass people in grocery stores are going to be shocked when Trump wins another 4 years. And they're going to be
the
flabbergasted.
temper tantrum
That's what it
people
is.
are throwing. Fucking shut up with your fucking temper. If you hate Trump, stop throwing a temper tantrum and go, yeah, but what about? Because that's why he won to begin with. If you hate the guy, you really are pushing him for another 4 years.
Here's what you do. You win by logic if you want to beat. To beat Trump, you have to win by logic. You have to give him credit when he deserves credit, and you have to point out when he does something wrong. If every single day you're just shouting about what an evil man he is, nobody's going to listen. It's the same shit over and over again. But if you're like, oh, wow, that really is something. He really got done this meeting with Kim Jong-un. Nobody thought that would happen. Look at him get that done. Wow, look at the economy. I guess he was right about that. But this thing I don't like. That thing I don't like. How about admitting that the Muslim ban is not actually a Muslim ban? Muslims are still allowed in the country.
Sure, it's for those 3 countries, and the Supreme Court said he's allowed to do it. It's 3 countries now, and I think Obama had the same ban for 7 countries.
It's not the first time countries have been banned from coming in.
No. Chris and Queens for a second, because I did watch this video you're talking about.
Okay, let's go to Chris. What's up, Chris?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hi.
Long time, first time. That video of Laura Loomer confronting Maxine Waters is epic, and it's exactly what she said she wanted done to the Trump supporters and workers, but she did not like it when it was done to her. So it's just another example of the typical liberal hypocrisy.
It's not just liberal hypocrisy, dude. It's everyone's hypocrisy. Do you understand? It's not just liberal hypocrisy. It's the same. That's the problem we have. Yeah, people are hypocrites. They stink. We all stink. But it's not just Maxine Waters. Because if it had been a conservative and they had done the same thing, they would have reacted the same way.
And today we're talking about Maxine Waters because that's the story today. Tomorrow there'll be some conservative.
It'll be fucking Marco Rubio or Ted Cruz or whatever.
Right. It's happening all over the place, and it's just insane watching two sides that even as crazy as it's gotten with Trump, because forever people were like, it becomes really, really difficult to figure out the differences between Democrats and Republicans, and Trump made the Republican Party just crazy town with the shit that he was doing. And somehow, it seems like everybody that's against him just decided to get equally crazy, so now it's still all the same.
Yeah.
All right, let's watch.
Okay,
let's watch
Laura
this
Loomer,
video.
her name is.
Yeah,
Do you know
Laura.
who she is? I didn't know her.
I don't know Laura Loomer.
I guess this is what she does.
But she's confronting Maxine Waters.
Hi, Congresswoman Waters. Hi, my name's Laura Loomer. I'm an investigative journalist.
And Maxine Waters, by the way, doesn't even say hello.
No.
She scowls and looks.
She doesn't.
What an unpleasant person.
She doesn't like this. Well, here's the issue here. You should do this to people who are in and around and support Trump. You should not do this to Maxine Waters.
Right. That's the
reason being is God would like that.
Yeah.
God wants you to do it to one group of people, but not to her.
Yeah, she didn't
That's
like
God's
it.
preference.
Yeah, she walks away and hides behind her fucking security when someone's questioning her, but she wants Trump supporters hassled in the gas station. Fuck you.
But to be fair, I mean, she's just going by the word of God.
That is true. God did. He probably sent her an email.
God prefers Maxine Waters to Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Leave Maxine alone.
G-D at gmail.com. I hate fucking Voss won't write the word God out. You old man. He puts like G and he puts a slash. Like you're not supposed to write the word God. It's one of these superstitious things. Like if you drop a fucking peanut on the floor, you kiss it up to God.
What an idiot.
This fucking old person
He's
shit
a
with
Jew
God.
Full of tattoos.
I know.
And he won't write the word God?
I can't spell it.
That's probably the
I kept
issue.
putting GLD.
G-A-D.
G-A-W-D.
Yeah.
Fucking God.
He had a religious experience when he saw Gad Al-Mallah.
Hi, my name's Laura Loomer. I'm an investigative journalist. You just recently made some comments in which you encouraged your supporters.
Who are you, darling?
My name is Laura Loomer. I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm also a conservative journalist.
Come to my office. I'll be happy to sit down with you.
No,
we
I
can't
would
talk
like
on
to
the
ask
phone.
you questions. Please don't push my camera out of my hand. You just encouraged your
Please
supporters.
come to my office
You just encouraged your
and sit
supporters
down with me
to harass Trump supporters and officials.
Please come to my office.
I just
I'll
wanted
be
to ask
happy
you,
to
where
sit
are conservatives allowed to go?
Please come
Are there
to my
separate?
office and talk with me.
Do we sit at the back of the bus?
The back of the bus argument was really stupid.
Of course.
It's a dumb argument.
Because
do we sit at the back of the bus? Like when you do that, you're just making yourself look like an ass. She should have picked a better example. It's a stupid example.
I hate that she's trying to make it like conservatives are the victim here.
Yes.
Just point out the woman's hypocrisy. Just point out the hypocrisy.
How full of shit Maxine Waters is to say this.
Yeah.
Should we sit at the back of the bus?
What are you talking
don't
about?
Be so dramatic.
It's not that big of a
Don't
deal.
be so dramatic.
Your guy is the president. It's not that big of a deal.
You're not being systematically oppressed.
No.
Because some asshole restaurant threw Sarah Huckabee Sanders out.
Right.
This is not a government suppression. The guy you want is the government. Like, your guy is in charge of the government.
Yeah, you're winning. Here, he gets to go on TV every day and talk about how the press is not real.
So I like that. Yeah, I like that she broke Maxine Waters' balls, but it's like the back of the bus thing is just stupid.
No,
it was one of those spur of the moment things you think and you say, and it feels powerful, but you look at it, it's like, no, it's just dumb.
I really wish we could just call out hypocrisy for hypocrisy and falseness for falseness, and like without having agenda behind it.
And you're right.
You know?
And the same people who really are saying that she should never have been thrown out of that restaurant because of her beliefs are the same people who are saying, yep, those cake makers were right. You can't win.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
I'm attracted to Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
I see that.
Do you?
Why?
I don't know. I realized it recently. Like it not at first.
She looks like the bassist in 20 different bands.
I don't know.
I'm not attracted to her. Thank you, madam. Thank you very much.
You're scaring the intern.
Oh, sorry.
Jim.
Thank you.
She doesn't like being shouted at. I don't know what it is, but like over the last like couple weeks, I've realized I don't know if I'm feeling sympathy for her because she keeps getting shit on by people. I don't know if I'm realizing how difficult her job is.
No.
But when she smiles, it seems like it's a real smile. There's something to me that is attractive about this Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Doesn't look like a real smile.
No, it doesn't.
I don't know. I feel like she is a vulnerable...
That looks like this is how humans move their face.
No, don't
So
say
I
that
will do
about
it as
Sarah.
I like her dad, though, even though he's a real conservative because he was nice to me when I met him. So I like her father.
I believe she is a vulnerable, sensitive flower, and she puts on this tough exterior, but she needs a shoulder to cry on.
Dude,
sometimes, and I'd like to be that shoulder.
She's a pit bull, man. Like I like the fact that this is what her job is, and whether you like her or not, she fucking stands up there. She doesn't cower.
I like her.
It's her job. She's a fucking
I mean, she's only really doing her job. I think it only amplifies how terrible Sean Spicer was.
Yeah.
Sean Spicer is very, very bad at this.
Clinton's people did the same thing for him.
Yeah.
And
like-
Hillary's would have for her. You defend, and Obama, you defend your boss.
I think she does a fine job, but I think she really shows how bad Sean Spicer is.
She's in a tough position. It's not an easy job. Being Trump's press secretary is not an easy job.
But she's got her shit together, and I think Sam wants to try to fix her.
She does. She explains things logically, and I want... more so than most
There's no way
would.
she agrees with her. There's no way these guys always agree with everything their boss does. You can't. That's not your job.
I want to be her support system. That's what I think it is.
She's married, isn't she?
Well, I don't think her husband.
Yeah.
I don't think her husband's supporting her the way she needs to be supported. I'm married too. We all, but I'm
She doesn't need you.
Maybe doesn't need me, but could use me.
Yeah, she would probably punch you in the face.
No. No. Yeah, that
Here's
guy.
what she'd say to you.
Honestly, her husband looks like a tool.
Here's what she'd say. No, here's what she'd say to
Troy,
you.
doesn't her husband look like a tool?
A little bit, but it kind of looks like that's who she should be with.
He'd say to you, she'd say to you, you'd say, hey, do you need a shoulder to cry on? She'd say, get fucked.
That's
and walk away from you.
No.
Thank you.
See, look at her.
Take that away, madam.
She's having a good time. You're shouting at the intern again. She's having a good time.
Yeah, she doesn't need you.
She's a delicate flower.
She's happy with her. No.
I don't think she's that happy with her husband.
She would tell you
the
to
truth.
get fucked, and then she would probably, make fun of your action clip on WWE.
You think so?
Yeah, she doesn't need you.
Yeah, she's married to her work.
I would. That's okay.
She doesn't give a shit about you.
I'm married to my work too, and my wife, and I'd still want to be Sarah Sanders' support system. I think she needs it. I don't think this guy supports her emotionally in the right way, and I would be able to.
Just emotionally?
Whatever she needed. Whatever
You
she
got a
needed.
little crush on Sarah Sanders.
I do have. I have a crush on Sarah Huckabee
She has a nice
Sanders.
little smile. There's a picture of her and her husband when she's happy. Yeah.
See?
But I still don't think she needs my support. She probably
Not yours.
goes
You're
home.
not a supportive person.
She goes home.
Scumbag.
And yeah, maybe. And she probably runs her fingers through her hair and goes, fuck, that was rough.
Right.
And then she's done.
No, but
Then again, she goes out to a restaurant just to eat, and by the way, that's bullshit fucking cocksucker restaurant. They're grandstand. We took a poll of the staff. Go fuck yourselves.
Right.
Because if that was somebody in there, again, and if that was a lawyer who you knew had defended a rapist, or if that was an imam from a local mosque who you
That's
knew had
right.
said things against Jews, or a Catholic, whatever you want, would you have had the balls to do that? Fuck you and your fake You're fake. We're taking a stand. You were trying to get press, and you knew that would get you press, and you're patting yourselves on the back. Aren't we strong and brave?
But
Eat
how
my
great?
dick.
How great is Sarah Huckabee Sanders? Didn't make a scene.
Stop with Sarah Sanders.
Didn't make a big deal. She picked up her things gracefully.
She had the president,
and
the president tweeted that it was a filthy restaurant. Vice is very funny, though, because they did the thing on all the health code. Again, you can't win. If you're going to say something, then they're going to call, his restaurants for filthy.
But she did handle herself.
Yeah.
Very, very gracefully, delicately.
What do you want her to do? Shit in her hand and throw it at somebody? she's a public figure. She has to just leave.
Don't say that about Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Would you like it if she did that?
Hell yeah.
I mean, I don't mind her now, but I'd love her if she did that. Yeah.
I would probably respect it. You see it, Troy?
Yeah.
You see what I'm talking about?
The attraction?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wish she'd... Does this mean to say we should just drop a few LBs?
Don't say that. No.
Okay,
Don't.
I take that back.
Okay, don't say that. Don't. Okay. I'm offended by
but
that.
She's definitely pretty. I mean, and I like the way she handles, assholes that are like fucking with her.
Yeah,
right.
I'm not particularly physically attracted to her, but I think she handles herself as well as can be expected. She's not a dope. She's not a pushover at all.
And look, it was her dad's little Mike Huckabee, right?
I like Mike Huckabee. I agree with almost nothing he says, but he was here.
Nice to you.
He couldn't have been nicer and liked me on Red Eye. So a man likes me on Red Eye, I back him and his kid. That's
great?
how it is.
Mike Huckabee loves Fox News so much that he was watching Red Eye.
Sure.
Just 24 hours of Fox News.
But yeah, look at her and her dad. She's just a person doing her job.
Look at how happy she is. That's the Sarah Huckabee Sanders I know is out there.
Her dad smells like Edgar.
You think so?
Yeah, I love him.
With his teeth clenched?
Yeah.
Sarah, my teeth are dry.
My teeth.
She's only 35.
Well,
see, she hasn't even figured herself out yet. I'm 34. We're the same age.
She's figured
You're only
herself out.
34?
What?
She's dating a guy. Look at the size of her husband's hand. That guy's all dick.
Yeah.
Believe me, you have nothing to offer her.
That's not that. She's probably sick of it.
No.
You don't think so?
Her dress is not good in that picture. She doesn't need you.
I would take her shopping.
She doesn't need you to take her shopping. She makes more than you.
No, but I mean to help her pick out stuff.
She doesn't even need you.
I have a keen eye for
She
fashion.
can call Melania and go, hey, could you, a fashion person, help me out?
Yeah, well, Melania would wear that fucking insensitive jacket. That's how much. That's
not a fashion decision.
Melania does.
That's somebody who should, like, one of her aides should have said something to her. Like, look,
what a terrible team Melania has around her.
I got to be honest. Melania's team, they might be her friends, or they're not, or they're afraid. They might, or maybe she overrides them. Like somebody may have said something to her, like, and she might go, what? I can't. There's something breaking down between her fucking using plagiarized quotes, which she didn't mean to do.
The jacket, which you probably didn't even know what was on the
That
back.
jacket, just little things like that. And I know the media stinks, but people around her, I think, are not doing her a service.
I agree with you. People want to talk about my new girlfriend, Mike in Chicago.
Melania Trump commander.
You're just looking at you got a thing for Melania? I got a thing for Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I get it.
That's an ugly jacket, by the way.
They're both attractive.
Can you imagine that, Troy? How great would that be if you and I got to go on a double date with Melania and Sarah Huckabee
And that
Sanders?
is exactly who would be with who.
I'd be fine with it. I don't know what
Sarah Huckabee Sanders wouldn't.
I don't know what it says about me, but in my heart, I think I would be absolutely fine if you were like, hey, Melania and Sarah Huckabee Sanders want to go on a double date with us. I'd be like, okay, but I got Sarah, right?
Yeah, but the president would not be happy with Troy.
The president's fine with it.
Yeah.
He's like, Melania needs to get hers too.
Yeah. Tattoos, too old, low breasts.
Sam, you like New Kids on the Block?
They had a bunch of hits.
She's a fan of them.
What? Oh my God.
You like Mad Men?
I love Mad Men. It's my favorite show.
Mad Men.
Really?
Yep. You like fantasy football?
Yeah, I play fantasy football every season.
She likes fantasy football.
Oh my God, we could pick our teams together.
That's all I found so far.
Come on, find some stuff.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'd sing Hangin' Tough with her all the time. We're rough.
Would you guys trade parts?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh. You know what I just read she loves?
Test your mind.
This kid.
Test your mind.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
It's the Mortal Kombat kid. Mike in Chicago. Sorry, what's up, Mike?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Little Letterman Sammy, you're really switching teams on this one.
No, I mean, look, this has nothing to do with politics. This is just person to person.
It's a human love story.
It's a human love story. That's right.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Now, how would you fuck her?
Well, Mike, first of all, I wouldn't use that kind of coarse language. I would. You think that's funny? I would slowly and sensitively make love to her.
Would you eat her box?
If she so requested. And I think she would make that request, and I would oblige.
For how long?
As long as it took.
Let's get sexy.
Okay, goodbye, Mike. I can't do
I don't
this.
disagree. Good
Goodbye,
job, Mike.
No, goodbye.
You like late night runs to Walmart?
Oh, my God. Tell me she likes late night runs to Walmart.
Around 10 o'clock?
We would tear the fuck up a Walmart at 10 o'clock. Are you kidding me?
Dressing all cash with no makeup? That's
Yes.
what you're into.
Yes.
Yep.
We'd put our sweatpants on, take our makeup off, go to Walmart, we go into the snacks section, get some soft drinks. Oh, my God. I got to hang out with this Sarah Sanders. Look at her. There she is. She's in Walmart. Just wearing a pink shirt. I love pink shirts. Let's go to Kyle in Alabama. What's up, Kyle?
Hey, Sam. Hey, I will say you got a good bunch of guys that you work with, because I brought up the same point with guys that I've known for 15 years, and I absolutely got blasted about how she's horribly ugly and she's disgusting and all that kind of stuff. But I see the same thing you do, man. There's something about it. I'm usually type of an alpha type guy, but with her, man, I'd let her just kind of, yell at me, tell me what to do.
That'd be fine.
All that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because she seems very dominant. Oh, yeah. Which means, by the way, she's probably a very big submissive, sexually. If you want the truth, people are normally the opposite. But I think that she's probably really pleasant, and it's a fucking really hard job.
She got a good head on her shoulders.
She's a smart person.
She keeps her cool.
I bet she would have no patience for wrestling.
What?
No. Yeah.
Well, she
I
likes
don't know
fantasy
about
football,
that.
but
I
not
disagree.
wrestling?
I think you're wrong, Travis. She probably love it. Absolutely.
Yes.
She'd probably like it.
Yes.
Honestly, because it's such a... First of all, her boss was involved in it, and it's just a...
I don't look. I definitely don't like everything my boss likes.
That's how I'd get her. That's
true. Your boss likes competent employees. But I know what you're saying. There are things your boss has done that you probably would not enjoy because they hurt your hiney.
Although he has no problem with the mouth.
No.
No, that's already warm.
That's why he keeps hair around it.
I would.
It looks like a puss. Old cooter face.
I would bring her on board. That's how I bring her on board with wrestling. I'd be like, did you ever see, the boss take a Stone Cold Stunner? She'd go, what's a Stone Cold Stunner? I'd go, oh, Sarah, let me show you this. Same way I got Troy. And we made love after that.
And then Donald would walk in, probably laugh. I remember that.
Right, I remember. Look how good I took it, too. He did not take it well, but we would not mention the fact that he was not athletic.
He might know you because he's probably watched wrestling.
That'd be so cool.
Yeah.
Who, Trump?
Yeah.
He doesn't watch wrestling now.
He might.
He might watch the kickoff shows.
I know he's a fan of he's a fan of the UFC podcast. I know that.
Is he?
Yep.
Then he's probably maybe he listens to my wrestling podcast too. Maybe every Thursday he gets his UFC and wrestling podcasts together.
Do you think he's a Stitcher Premium subscriber?
To my wrestling podcast?
Yeah.
Definitely.
That'd be cool.
Definitely. He listens to Jess and me watch old wrestling shows. Yeah, he's not an athletic guy. He took a
terrible,
very, very bad stunner. But that's not, Sarah and I wouldn't focus on that.
Let me see the stunner.
You want to look at him?
He has whipped cream on.
That's shaving cream because he just shaved Vince McMahon's head. Took the stunner and he just kind of rolls over.
Great job.
Awful.
Not good.
Great job.
No, you'd have to show her like The Rock.
Oh,
Great job.
Yeah, we'd have a lot of fun. I'd show her Undertaker matches. She would think they were awesome.
You could just watch those like Stone Cold Stunner compilations on YouTube.
It was great. Great job.
Yeah.
No, it was
you
a
like that?
terrible job. What are you
Excellent.
talking about?
Excellent.
One of the better stunners.
Linda McMahon takes better stunners than he
Yeah,
does.
well, that's what she does.
That's so you're saying in the Trump administration, Linda McMahon takes the best stunner?
Oh yeah,
I see.
Did she do a good job with it?
No.
Oh well.
No, she did not.
She shouldn't have to.
She always took them terribly.
Yeah. I mean,
love that they
Vince
were
didn't
giving
take
her-
them well.
I love they gave her stunners. Stone Cold gave her stunners.
Oh yeah, you want to?
So funny.
You want to see Stone Cold?
Of course I do.
Stunning everybody in the McMahon family, including Stephanie, Shane, everybody.
What are you wearing? I get it. Hey.
You like this, Troy?
Yeah, yeah. Man, I'm out here running to your dad and your brother, a couple of stunners. Booyah!
He's probably a little buzzed at this point.
Maybe you'd like to give old Stone Cold a kiss.
You think he's had a few?
Oh, I think he's had a few. Oh, she slapped him. Stephanie McMahon just slapped Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Wow, she gave him a good slap to the face.
Slapping the kisser.
Slapping the kisser.
Okay, so you're playing hard to get. And
Travis, you're on the edge of your seat right now.
I love it. I love it.
Rob, you're loving this?
you hadn't have done that.
Uh-oh.
But then again, I'm kind of glad you did.
No! Stunner on Stephanie.
Kicked the boss's daughter in the stomach.
He's one of the greatest television characters ever.
I mean, you can't deny it.
Why is she unconscious?
Because she got a Stone Cold Stunner.
Look, everybody's out.
They're stunned.
How long do you stay out for?
Minutes.
Long time.
Yeah.
I bet on the commercial break they all wake up.
Well, eventually they come to. You know.
After the Steve Weisers.
That's right.
Wait, how is she unconscious? I don't understand.
Because
can we see that again?
Look, the stunner. When you get knocked out in UFC, what part of the body do they hit?
The head.
The chin.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So the stunner, your chin hits the shoulder out cold. It's physics, dude.
Let me see.
I wish you hadn't have done that.
But then again,
kicks her in the stomach.
I'm kind of glad you did.
I'm kind of glad you did.
No! Boom. See, unconscious. It's in the snap.
Is that considered a good finishing move?
The Stone Cold Stunner is one of the great finishing moves of all time. Because you
like Chief Jay Strongbow's.
What was it?
I don't remember.
I didn't think so. You know why the Stone Cold Stunner is so good? Because you could do it.
So good?
I'm excited. You could do it to anybody.
Yeah.
Anyone.
Sure.
Anyone.
Whole family.
Big, small, male, female, small child, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
It's the best.
Let's go to Jay in Calgary. What's up, Jay?
I got a theory on why you like Sarah Sanders.
Tell me.
Because you're both ugly as fuck.
I don't know. I had never thought of that.
Hey, Veronica, what's got you laughing today? She's fucking crying in there. It's funny to hear the boss called ugly, isn't it? I've never seen her happier.
A little on the nose.
Yep.
Brian in California.
Hey, so I have a feeling that you like Sarah Sanders the same reason that I do is she's very attractive.
Right.
She'd cuck you just a little bit. Just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you mean cuck?
Oh, she'd cuck Sam, maybe.
What do you mean just like to what degree?
Yeah.
What do you mean cuck?
Oh, she'd fucking own you.
Well, I don't mind her owning me. I don't want her to sleep with other men and tell me about it. I don't mind being cucked in the colloquial sense by Sarah Huckabee Sanders, but in the traditional dictionary definition sense, I don't want that.
Yeah, I'm in. You're turning me on.
Okay, goodbye. Yeah, I mean, I kind of came to the realization, I don't know, I think within the last few weeks, I had these feelings, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute.
They're not reciprocated.
Well, she might not know, unless she watches the kickoff shows. She might watch WWE kickoff shows. But I bet they would. I bet if we met, we'd kick it. We'd hit it off.
No, you wouldn't.
No?
No. She'd think you're a clod.
No.
Yeah.
Think you should think I was ugly as fuck?
Yeah, a little harsh.
A little. I mean,
a little harsh.
That's rough.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't say it wasn't true.
Accurate. I'll tell you who enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Veronica.
She did.
Loved it. Really loved it.
Here's the issue with
belly
that.
laugh.
I could have come back and been like, oh, well, you're a dude, so I don't care if you think that that's true. But then you pointing out that Veronica's laughing really takes the steam out of that argument, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Boy, she enjoyed that one.
Plus, you care if dudes think you're hot.
I want dudes to think I'm hot. I want everybody to think I'm Troy, wouldn't you prefer that men think you're attractive than unattractive?
Yeah, of course.
Of course, it's nice.
Flattering.
Right. Right, and then I could tell Sarah Huckabee Sanders all about it. If enough dudes think you're attractive, it's going to get back to Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
What if her kids are wrestling fans?
Oh, I'll get him toys. I can
hook them up.
Oh my God!
Yeah, because Vince couldn't. They probably want Sam to hook him up.
That's a good point.
Yeah, because of the fact that they're close with Vince and
Look,
Linda, they would need Sam, the fucking.
Sometimes you don't want to call in
mic guy to. Yeah.
Sometimes you don't want to call in a favor from the big boss, right?
That would be yeah, you do when you're way above the big boss. Yeah.
Sometimes maybe you're like I go, Sarah, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it.
And she goes, no, but Vince has better access than you do. He has the wrestlers show up at the house.
Yeah, you'd have to get in touch with Joe, and Joe would have to set.
Yeah, I would just. I just
exactly.
call the publicist.
Sarah would just call Vince, and all of a sudden, the next thing you know, fucking
bada bing, bada
Bob
boom.
Backlund would be over there, knee walking all over the house on Christmas morning.
That'd be cool.
Yep.
Wonder if she's maybe a Jim and Sam fan.
I mean, probably not. In the morning, she's busy.
What's she doing in the morning?
Prepping for the day.
That's what this is. We give her the news of the day.
Yeah.
With our spin.
It would be nice for a
Well,
little
you'll know
shout
if she's a fan if she's all flustered today because she knows someone's watching.
Oh, can you imagine if she heard this and she's like, oh my God, the last professional broadcaster has a thing for me? I'd be excited.
That'd be cool.
That'd be awesome.
out. Yeah, it wouldn't suck.
Not at all.
Even
Not-
if she was a big Sam fan and hated me.
You'd be fine with that?
Yeah, if she called me a lib cuck.
Although you probably haven't done me any favors by convincing the audience that let him in Sammy is my philosophy.
Well, it is.
It's not.
Yeah, fucking Sam. Sam actually walks through hardware stores and takes all the locks and throws them out.
These are unconstitutional.
Yeah. Door handles. He fucking breaks them.
Yeah. Why don't you
Let
read?
in Sammy.
Why don't you read what's on the scroll that the Statue of Liberty is holding?
Yeah, exactly.
Give us our poor, our weak, and throw out these locks.
No, it's give us your.
Well, they're going to be ours.
No, but it doesn't say that. What does she say? Give us your
Poor,
you're
and weak.
hired,
Give
you're
us your
tired, you're hungry.
You're
Hungry.
yeah, something.
Sexy.
You're lice-ridden.
I don't think it's sexy.
Give us the young and sexy.
Give us your big clitted.
Yeah. Yeah. It goes on and on and on and on.
Show me, what did this bitch say?
Wouldn't it be great if it doesn't say any of that? Nobody's ever checked it. Who gets up that high?
Not like the brazen giant. See, give us your. It says with silent lips, give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses, yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Send these, the homeless, tempted, tossed to me. I lift my lamp beside the golden door. It is really funny.
I can't read the.
Send me your masses, you're homeless. It's basically saying send us whoever needs help, and we'll take care of you.
But that's not. We don't do that.
That's kind of a different tone.
No, we don't do that.
Although I forget when and what we were talking about when Anthony said wretched refuse. I don't remember who he was talking about, but Anthony Cumia said that. He improv'd it, and then I realized it was from here, and it's one of the funniest improvs ever. I just can't remember what it was about.
Do you think that
Wretched refuse.
Do you think the Statue of Liberty realized that we would take all the wretched refuse and the tired and the poor and the weak and the homeless and everything, but then we'd put their kids in cages?
Well, I mean, it was written by France too. They're probably trying to sabotage us.
Probably. Yeah. Let all the nudniks into America.
It was a little different back then, anyway.
It was
1700s.
It was. Yeah. You have to adjust. You have to adjust.
It is nice.
It's a nice sentiment.
I saw a photo of the Statue of Liberty before she was sent over, and they showed.
Not a she, it's a statue.
But it's a she. And the top
has
of
no
the statue
genitals.
is, she does. I've been inside. You go behind
No,
her, you
she's
can touch
been
the cunt.
inside.
No, I've been inside. Well, yeah, she has too.
That's right.
But the statue, the head of the statue was on the ground in a park in France. It's a great picture before it was shipped over.
It's very famous.
Oh, yeah, is it famous? I didn't know. I've only seen it recently.
Boy, oh boy,
Do you know the picture?
you look like a fool.
Why? I'm quoting a famous picture.
I'm going to say, yes, I do know the photo. Because I don't want to look like a fool.
You ever see when the Ghostbusters saved New York by using the Statue of Liberty to destroy all the hate?
Well, look at the
Yeah,
hand.
because they put ooze all over it.
Yeah.
Their big dumb feet. How awesome is that?
Yeah, it is. It's really cool. The fact that they were able to do that so long ago, transport something like that from France to the United States.
I saw the pieces of the Statue of Liberty that they put on top of the ring at WrestleMania 29.
They did it wrong, by the way, because their torch was supposed to be out pointing like ha-da-da-da. It was like a showbiz thing. And they put it up. What are you doing? Yeah.
Veronica, you didn't think that color was you didn't think that color was funny, did you?
There you go.
Oh, not at all.
Okay, all right, no. You
Well,
guys
is that just a replica?
You guys misinterpreted. She didn't think he was funny.
Wait.
Thank you, Veronica.
In 1883, is seen on display in a park prior to completion. Oh, that was actually the real head.
Yeah, I think
That's
they
it.
just did the pieces and they put them on display like this.
Well, yeah. Where else are they going to put him? Right? We might as
they're
well.
I thought that was being ready to be shipped. Wow, those guys are standing in that. That is so crazy to see that there.
How great would it
They're
have
all in
been
suits.
if they were just measuring by eye, and like the hand was way too small? Like, shit, we got to redo everything.
Wow.
There's a good documentary on it.
Oh, is there? Okay.
On the Statue of Liberty?
Yeah, it goes through the whole thing.
I
That's
don't need
pretty
to see
cool.
that.
I'd love to. How was she made?
I mean, I can barely get through the staircase. It's so goddamn long.
Yeah, well, I don't need a 10
Did it? You went up it?
I haven't gone through. No. The staircase, the documentary.
Oh. I think you went up the staircase to the
Statue of Liberty.
Statue of Liberty, yeah.
I have.
No. Did they cover the staircase in the documentary about the Statue of Liberty?
I think so. I think
They do.
Well, they talk
cover
about
everything else.
You can go. You used to be
They
able to
really
go on the
did.
torch.
Endless documentary.
I'm through
You can't
6
anymore.
episodes.
I'm on part 7 of The Staircase on Netflix.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It's too long.
There's some glorious moments.
There are.
Like, I love when the lawyer is yelling at the tech guy.
Oh my God. Especially
We
because
never had a problem with this before.
he's just this old dork who just happens to know computers back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine when we do it. We had a mistake here, but it'll be fine. There was never a problem before this.
He's so pissed.
And then did you see the scene where he had pit stains through his blazer?
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, this guy is sweating. He has no faith in his client.
Brad? Oh, Brad! He's the best.
But yeah, it's taking me a long time to get through this series.
Oh, it's fucking... I never loved it. I thought it was very overrated. It could have been done in 5 or 6 episodes, and the final 3 could have been done in 1. How many fucking shots do you need of him contemplating?
Yeah.
I got it.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. I want to take a leak. It's 9:20. We have Greg Fitzsimmons coming in.
That's right.
We're going to talk more news.
Yeah.
I like Greg. He's promoting the Greg Fitzsimmons Show. Oh, Mondays at 8 o'clock on Howard 101. I didn't know he had a regular gig here.
We just call it Channel 101.
Well, that's true. We do.
We don't want to...
promote the competition.
No. We should also talk about Permit Patty. We didn't get into Permit Patty
We'll talk
yesterday.
about her. Although she got a bad rap. She's like that one lady, Barbecue Becky, I think was a fucking shit pile. I think Permit Patty got a bit of a bad rap.
I think Permit Patty, not a good person, but not necessarily racist.
No, she's not a racist. She couldn't even see the fucking kid. She just heard the kid yelling.
Right. We'll get into Permit Patty. And a whole lot more.
Word.
After this.
Word.
Okay.
More Jim Norton and Sam Roberts after this.
Greg Fitzsimmons just joined us. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brothers?
Have you been on with us before?
No, actually in L.A. I think I did your show
The
once.
first L.A. trip.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, you did it with us. Yeah,
That's right. You guys were so much younger then.
I know.
Yeah.
You know?
It's depressing.
It's really taking a toll.
It's something about this age. What are you about?
I'll be 50 in July.
Yeah, something happens. The fucking collagen or whatever it is in your face, you just start shitting it out.
It goes
And
away.
You become an apple core, like an old apple core.
It's humiliating.
Yeah.
It's humiliating.
Fucking neck skin and...
It doesn't matter how youthful at heart you are.
No.
It shows in the face.
I still feel young, though. Do you still feel...
Yeah, it's because it's a childish life. I don't live a mature life.
Right.
So yeah, you do to a certain degree, but then you go to shave and you're like, yep, I'm a lot fucking older.
I time my shaves. If I have to like do a big show or whatever, I don't want to shave that day because it's like putting a spotlight on the gross Play-Doh shit that is my chin. Like little jowls are dropping down. It's like,
I know.
Yeah, so a couple days growth is almost like a chick wearing makeup.
Yeah, a little something to cover it up.
Yeah.
Do you wear, I'm such a fucking old lady. I put lotion. I fucking lotion the shit out of my face and neck. I'm fighting it.
Yeah.
I might buy myself 2 more years of looking human.
Why don't? Yeah, I mean, I've been using lotion forever.
Well, I mean, like high-end lotion?
That's not encouraging.
I always
yes. Yes.
You got to say
high-end
pretty
shit?
good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, SkinCeuticals.
Yeah.
My friend's wife turned me on to it. She said it's like it's not the fancy name, but it's really good. So I love it.
I use the Avon lotion. It's the best.
It's just
simple, easy.
My friend used to when he jerked off, he would rub it in his hair, and he said that was like the best. His cum in his hair. He said that was the best conditioner you could use.
I never heard that.
Yeah.
Maybe he was just trying to get you to put cum in your hair.
Yeah.
We were in the shower at the time.
Yeah.
Trust me when I tell you.
What an antisocial boy your friend was. Probably cum in his own hair.
Yeah. Also, if you want to get rid of all cavities, feces.
Yeah, right.
Shit in your mouth is how you get rid of your cavities.
It's really good for your gums.
Yeah. And if you piss on your feet, you get rid of athlete's foot. That's a real thing.
But I've heard that's actually true.
Yeah, that is true.
Is it?
Something in the urine, probably the acidity. I'm going to guess the acidity.
I don't know. I feel like people just do disgusting things and try to justify it.
Yeah, what is wrong with people?
You know, why would you?
Yeah.
There's cream for athlete's foot. You don't have to piss all over your feet.
You ever
You
get
just spray
jockish?
it.
Jockish? No. I've had my balls have itched, but never chronically, no. My balls don't sweat much. They're not very big.
They don't take up a lot of space.
No, I don't have big balls.
They're not
I
like
see.
laying against the side of your thigh.
No, very rarely. Sometimes they do, but no, they're usually not. My balls usually don't stink and they're not big.
They don't stick.
How do you know if they don't stink?
I've done the test. Come on, who hasn't tested?
You mean you rub your finger on it? And
Oh
smell
my
your
God,
finger?
yeah. And enough girls have sucked my dick where they're like, you know.
Jim has a specific thing. He said, if you are gonna keep your balls fresh for me, I'm gonna keep my balls fresh
That
for
is
you. He
true.
says that to all of his
Every
girlfriends.
woman I've told that to, yeah, your balls smell good and so will, as
That's
will
right.
mine. I speak properly.
That's right. So what's got you in New York, man?
I'm writing on Crashing. I did it last year, and I'm doing it again this year. It's a show on HBO.
Yeah, the show's doing very well.
It's doing good. It's the third season, and it's like kind of like a well-oiled machine at this point. We take over the cellar a lot, which I think pisses off some comedians.
No, I just know that when I'm walking into the cellar, because I don't even check when I have spots. I'm walking into the cellar and I see fucking a craft truck. I'm like, all right, well, I guess it's the Village Underground.
Yeah, right.
Or I fucked up again. Yeah,
right. Yeah, we come in and it's Judd Apatow's show, and he loves the cellar and the underground, and him and Esty are really close. So we end up. I always feel bad because we'll go in there for like 2 nights in a row, and we just shoot stuff on stage and shoot stuff. It's very much about that culture and the ball busting. And have you been on Crashing yet?
I've had 1 minute in Crashing in season 1.
Jesus.
I don't know.
What's that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Maybe he doesn't like me. I don't know.
No, your name comes up all the time.
Aren't
when
you
we're talking about comics, it's just.
Well, you're a writer, so fucking.
I got to say,
let's make it happen.
You're the writer, and you're asking him, why aren't you on the show more?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Yeah, all right, good. Let's get you on there.
Yeah, I'll come in there and do whatever they ask.
You think it's going to happen, Jim?
No.
I know
I don't
you
think
can-
so either.
I
It
know-
really is non-committal.
Well, it's it's about him struggling, and a lot of times it's the lesser known comics that do it.
I didn't know Pete coming up. I met him years later in the business, so I didn't know him when he was coming up.
Right.
Are you guys at that spot now where you're going into your 3rd season, show's really successful, but now you have to figure out how do we do enough movement so that the show stays interesting without doing so much movement that we've told the story and he's now a successful comedian and we've got no place to go?
Yeah, no, that's a good point because there's a trajectory to the character, and
Right.
you wonder like how many seasons can you do of a guy who's breaking in. But I think the way we do it is it's very specific stories within it, and there's romantic interests and there's B stories. It's not all just about his career.
Yeah, because the first season he was crashing with other people,
right?
But at some point he should have been working long enough that he can get his own apartment.
Although that
You know what I mean?
that absolutely could go on for a few years. Guys who don't take a long time to make
Sure.
money, man. I took years to make fucking money. So
Yeah.
you could have 5 or 6
You
seasons
weren't
of a
that
guy.
good though, is the...
Well, yeah, that is the asterisk. I mean, there's a reason I wasn't making money.
No, people don't understand with you, and I say this all the time about Jim, and there's other people that I talk about. Like, I think, Gaffigan even came in and says, we were the same class. You and I came up at the same time in New York. And there were guys that all of a sudden popped and just started getting work all the time. And you were not part of that class.
No.
You took a while.
Yeah.
And you always were who you were. But I think you just started owning it more and more and more. And then all of a sudden people were like, what the fuck is going on with Norton? Like, you just kind of exploded and people recognized it, and it all just kept feeding itself. But there was, you took a while.
Yeah, it didn't happen right away.
Were you aware of that at the time? Like that this was happening for other people and it wasn't happening for you? And did it give you like that chip on your shoulder where you're...
I never got a chip on my shoulder. No.
What's that?
Of course, I had to. I never. I never got bitter about it. No, I didn't.
No, you never seemed bitter about it.
Nah, I mean, because I always worked. I mean, I would go on the road and do gigs, and I was having fun.
But you wouldn't look at other
girls
people
once in a while. Like,
Yeah.
I loved it. I wanted to be a comedian. I loved it.
So your expectations were low going in, and so you were like, the fact that I'm making a living at all is a win.
No, you always want to, you always see yourself doing well someday. But I always said, I'll know I'm famous, and I'll know I've made it when I sign an autograph in New York, and then I sign one in Seattle. Like that to me will be like, okay, you've made them, like the whole country knows. And I've had that happen where you sign something in New York, and then it means nothing.
Yeah.
It means nothing.
Right.
I don't feel any more famous than I did.
Isn't it amazing? You make those goals.
And you realize when you
young.
hit them, yeah.
And then you hit them, but you there's no feeling of accomplishment because now you're just thinking you've been making goals the entire time.
But it's good though because it always makes you move more. Like HBO special or whatever it is, the Tonight Show or Letterman, and you do those things and you're like, okay, those are great, but that's not the end. That's just a nice thing.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was. I think for a lot of us, Letterman was everything when we were coming up, and when I got it, it was like the greatest fucking moment of my life, you know, bar none. It was like everything I hoped it would be. And I got off stage, and my father had just died before that, and I was very close to him. And my last thought before I went out was, I talked to my dad. Just quick.
Sure.
Talked to my dad, and I went out, had the set of my life. Letterman loved it. I walk off, and Faith Hill is standing there. She's going on. I don't know what the fuck is she going on after me for. And I just start crying. Like a fucking little girl, I just start crying. And she puts her arms around me. She gives me this big hug. She goes, "You were fantastic."
Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's never been as good. That was it. Like I've had, obviously I've been doing it for 29 years.
Sure.
I've had plenty of things happen since then. Nothing is even in the ball.
Well, that kind of completed something. Like that was, hey, this is what I want. And all, it's rare, like whether it is, there's always something that goes wrong. And when you get everything you want and it's in that moment and here's everything you wanted, it's overwhelming.
And it's all the emotions coming together all at once.
Yeah.
But then after it, you're like, okay, the worst is the next day when you're like, okay,
Huge crash.
Now I got it. Now I got to rebuild.
That's right.
And Faith Hill wasn't there for you anymore.
That's right.
There's no huge crash, and there's no.
Yeah, I was listening to her music the next day, and I was like, So that brings up a big question because, you know, what does keep... There are people that reach a certain plateau. My father used to always say, everybody ends up where they want to be. Like, we all get to a point where we've worked hard, we've had goals, we hit them, and then some people just go, yeah, this is good, you know? And then other people go, no, I want to go through more pain because getting to the next level, it's sacrifice, it's uncomfortable, it's fucking painful. It's getting up off the couch on a night when now you're married, now you got a kid, and now you got to still get up and go from Westchester down to the Comedy Cellar to do 15 minutes for $20. And it's the person who does that gets to the next level. So what is it? Because you're one of those people that is, you keep pushing, you're on the road, you're doing your show, you blow industry guys like still. Some that can't even help you.
You guys have retired.
Yeah. So what is it that keeps you? Is it fear that it'll go away, or is it
terror? It's absolute terror that everything is going to go away, and I'm going to get fired from here, and they're going to take away the UFC podcast. They're going to take away everything's going to go.
So you don't feel like a foundation has been built that you're like, okay, that's
I do,
there.
but it doesn't matter. It's more of a foundation. It's not a foundation. It's a pedestal that you can easily be kicked off of. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's not something that's solid enough.
Isn't stand-up something that people can't take away from you?
Yeah, and you'd think so, sure. But then you lose faith in your stand-up. It happens. We all lose faith in our stand-up. Like, I don't want to do this. I saw, whatever. It's crazy stuff people think.
Yeah.
But it moves me forward.
But the stand-up is a good point. That is the one thing that, it's the girl that brought you to the dance.
Right.
And it still can give you that quick hit of affirmation, acceptance. You write some new shit. There's still no high better than writing new shit and having it work.
And you're in complete control. It's yours.
It gets you right back in. I can be in a spell with stand-up where I'm hearing myself do the same jokes, and I'm looking at the audience, and I don't. And you see, it starts to get existential. Like, why are all these people sitting here eating chicken wings, not talking for an hour, while I just keep talking? Like, I just talked. I just made them laugh. Yeah. And now immediately there's an expectation that I'm going to do it again and again for a fucking hour. And you go into this mindset, and then all you got to do is sit down and write some new shit. And even if it's for 3 or 4 minutes during your set, it energizes the whole rest of the hour.
Yeah, it makes you feel really good. It does. And me and Florentine were talking recently, and he's like, fuck, my stuff's not working. I just feel flat. And what I've done in the past, and I suggested to him, is do it in a different order. Sometimes if you just do shit in a different order, it makes you think a little different too. Because that fucking getting up and going, and then you know where you're at in 15 and 40, you're like, I want to fucking blow my brains out.
There was a guy named John Fox.
I love John Fox.
He was so fucking funny, but he was a hard boozer.
Yep.
And he was a road dog. He was on the road year after year for 30 years. And every fucking show for 30 years, he walked on stage and the same opening joke. 2 firemen are butt fucking in a smoke-filled room, and the crowd knows him, and they all, That's the premise. That's the setup.
Yeah.
And then he would do, I forget, I think the
Chief
joke,
walks in. I think that was it. The chief walks in or something.
Chief walks in and he goes, what the hell's going on here? And the guy says, well, he had smoke inhalation. I was giving him mouth. Oh, no. I was giving him mouth-to-mouth.
No, he goes, I got smoke inhalation. And the chief said, why don't you give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation?
How do you think this started?
Yeah.
And that's it every single time.
But I mean, and the whole rest of the set. I mean, this guy, and you could see why he drank so much because he was getting nothing out of the act anymore.
Not at all. And he would, but he was such a gruff. He died a few years ago.
Yeah.
And he left me a really sweet message.
Did it start with that?
No.
Oh.
He said, I think he closed it where it was a written message where he said, I'll see you in heaven. It was really sad because he had cancer and knew he was going to die.
Little does he know you're going to hell.
Yeah, I did actually say that back. And I sent him a picture of devil horns and he laughed.
I may see you on the elevator.
But he and then he would, because his was so gruff, his thing was, to fireman. Like the way he would start, it was just he was funny.
Yeah.
He was a funny person. He would always close with the Archibald Marisol. Remember that? Arch ARC. You got your I, got BALD. He would do that joke to close, and same thing every night.
And I was playing in this club. We drove across the country. Me and my wife back in '99. We'd moved to LA. So we drove across the country, and being the pathetic road pig that I am, I set up a gig on our drive across the country. We got all our shit packed into a station wagon, stuff strapped on the roof. Honey, we're stopping by Green Bay, Wisconsin, nowhere near on the way to Los Angeles. And we get up there, and I'm the headliner. And then there's the condo. John Fox had been there, and he used to smoke cigars. And he fucking cigared the shit out of that place.
Yeah.
And we go in, and me and my wife, I just remember this. I was so glad she came with me because I think she romanticized what life was like for me on the road. I was wearing a bathrobe.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know?
Of course.
Being catered to.
Being catered to.
You had your shower shoes, your terry cloth shower shoes on from the hotel.
Right.
Yeah.
Taking a tour of the Louisville Slugger plant when I'm in Louisville. And so we get up there and we're in the bedroom and it's like, stucco with the vertical metal blinds and, a bed that wasn't a good bed when they bought it 20 years ago. And so we get into bed and it's nasty and I throw a move on her and I'm having sex with her and the feature act is in the next room and all of a sudden we can hear his bed is squeaking and he's jerking off to the sound of me and my wife having
my God.
in a cigar-sealed condo. And she was like, we got to get the fuck out of here. I was like, no, you understand. This is Thursday. We got to do show Sunday. And have you been to Green Bay, Wisconsin?
I believe I have.
I mean, there is literally nothing. Yeah. And it's the worst food. And the club allowed smoking. It was like a tin warehouse that they put chairs in, and everybody chain smoked. And they were drunks, and it was like fat chicks in Packers jackets.
Terrible gig.
Oh. I remember when I went back the next year. It was no, I'm kidding.
So are you?
There are enough of them though. There's these. You get there and one day Thursday night, and you're like, oh, you motherfucker.
And you're there till Sunday.
Yeah, at least Thursday, Friday. I hate 6. I just did Tampa Side Splitters, and I love that club, but it's 6 shows, and it just.
What do you do? Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Thursday,
Sunday?
Friday, 3 Saturday.
Oh.
So by the time you get to the third show on Saturday, you did. Yeah, so that's like your last show.
The money is good, so you do it for the money.
Are you sitting there having no clue what you've said when?
No, I mean, I don't. You can usually, once in a while, you might repeat a joke, but, by the third show, you're okay because it's not later, it's an earlier show's added. So that's the reason I did it, because I know that when I started at 8 o'clock, I would have been like, fuck, you could have made X amount more dollars, you asshole, you're right here.
Yeah.
What are you going to just sit in the hotel for free?
Yeah.
I would have left earlier, but getting there earlier, I had to take the money.
Did you go see our friend Mike Calta down there?
Friday morning, yeah. I always do his show.
We did Jim and I went down there about 5-6 years ago?
You were on. That's right. That was fun, man.
We did this great roast. He was changing his name from Cowhead to Mike Calta.
Right.
And we went down, and what a lineup. It was me, you, was Florentine on it? I think Florentine, Bobby Kelly. And we went up, and Mike Calta's grandmother was there. and she's a huge Yankees fan, and he's a huge Yankees fan. And he told me they both got Yankees tattoos, and so I started talking about how she got the tattoo on her vagina, and you can tell because it's got pinstripes in it, and you can tell because guys have been spitting in the dugout for so long. And I did like 3 minutes on his grandmother's vagina.
Do you know Wade Boggs was there that night?
No
way.
Wade Boggs was there, but I didn't get to meet him. He left.
I love Wade Boggs.
I do too.
Yeah. I was in Boston for a lot of years.
That's right. Yeah. Boston. Yeah. He was there at that show because Mike knows a lot of those guys because of Tampa spring training.
Oh, that's right.
Is there.
Greg, are you more the push guy? I'm going to push, or are you getting to this place where you're happy with where you're at?
You know, I pushed hard. I came out of the gate hard. You know, like I was one of those guys. I'm sure you were. I mean, I did it 7 nights a week.
Oh, yeah.
For the first 5 years I did comedy.
There was 1 year there was 13 nights I didn't do stand-up in a year.
In the whole year?
It was like, it was like, 1995. It was way back then. Yeah.
Wow.
Right. And we're talking 3, 4, 5, 6 sets a night.
Right.
And then going on the road and coming back and doing it. And, it was the same thing. I think I've always come from fear. And I started really working on transitioning out of that about, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I started meditating and I just started thinking about how much of the stuff I've done in my career because it came at me versus me proactively saying, this is what I want to do.
Right.
And I started kind of changing that mindset. I sound like I'm doing a fucking infomercial right now. But it really was a change. And with it, I think I don't push as hard.
Because stuff comes to you that you're supposed to be doing.
No. No, I mean,
you got a little more free time.
I wanted to start writing more,
right?
Because I wanted to be home more for my kids. Of course, the next writing job I land shoots in fucking New York for 3 months. But it's such a good credit that I took it just because it'll get you that next job and the next job. So, but I'm not doing as much stuff. But the podcast, I feel like I look it down the road like. You get older in this business and you just, you're going to be put out to pasture. Nobody's asking me to host anything anymore. And so the podcast, Fitzdog Radio, that's not going anywhere.
They can't take that.
They can't take that away. I can say whatever the fuck I want. Talk to you. You've been on it a couple times. Sit down for an hour with my buddy and talk uninterrupted with no phones.
Yep.
That's the greatest thing in the world.
It's amazing. And you're talking to friends about whatever you want to talk about. And again, no one's going to come in and go, look, you should leave that. There's no publicist to tell you. It's just you and the person.
That's amazing what podcasting has done. Just in terms of social relationships, like you end up either making or keeping friends.
Yes.
Because you have these conversations that you normally would never have because it's a podcast. We have to actually listen to each other and concentrate on each other and have a good conversation that is good enough that other people would want to listen to it.
Right. And it's, and it's a way to like just, get caught up about the comedy world. You talk about where you're at. I mean, this kind of conversation. So there's that. And then I do the radio show on Sirius XM on Mondays on Howard's channel. And I just feel like those two things in stand-up are just, they're not going to ever go anywhere.
Right.
And then the other stuff in Hollywood, I don't chase as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of given up. I'm not going to be a leading man. I blink too much.
You don't think so?
No.
Even after Spider-Man?
But even in a comic way.
Right.
My role will be limited. It is what it is. You know what I mean? My doing what I do is going to be stand-up or chip or this other nonsense. It's just going to be a peripheral.
But it's not the worst thing in the world either to not be, to kind of be your career is about you, not about being an actor or the roles that you...
I'm saying it's great. It's what I'm choosing.
Right.
Because it's the stuff I have control of.
You create it yourself.
Yeah. I think part of my unhappiness in a lot of my career was that it wasn't in my control. It was walking into a room with fucking Brian Callen to audition for a role. This guy's, he's in there. He comes out of the room after an audition. He goes in ahead of you. When he walks out, the casting director has her arm around him. Everybody's laughing. They're exchanging text messages already. And I'm sitting there going like, I think I know the lines, but I still got the paper in my hand. And so it's like, I could never compete with that.
Right.
And so it just always felt like it wasn't a fit. And now I feel like so lucky that with this new media and with having done stand-up for so long, I feel like I can really control that and I get out of it what I put into it.
I stopped in the Denver Comedy Works. I was doing another gig in town, and you didn't even see me because you were on stage. I'm like, I wanted to watch. I was waiting for people across the street. I'm like, I'm going to go watch Greg for a few minutes. And I just stood in the back of them and watched you. And it was really funny, man. And you were killing. And I remember this is back before the election, and you said some joke you did about, I think all we're waiting for is Donald to call Hillary a cunt, and that made me laugh for a week. I'm like, what a funny fucking joke.
Countdown to Trump calling Hillary a cunt. Yeah.
That was very funny. It was really...
thanks, man. I'd heard that you were in the back. They were like, yeah, he came through like an apparition. Just stood in the back and then left.
Yeah, I had to leave. I'm like, I'm going to catch a few minutes. It's fun, like when there's a guy you like working, and you're doing. It's like I can just go in and watch a guy I like for a few minutes. It was nice.
Yeah,
I love that place too.
Denver Comedy Works, man. You know what I like about it is the seats are locked down to the ground in rows. It's like a Greyhound station. Like you have to face the stage,
right?
And little tables in between, but. You feel the difference. You feel like they are locked in on you.
Right.
And it's like graded seating towards the back. It's like pie-shaped. The bar is outside the room. It's
kind of like
a perfect room.
Like somebody built a comedy club specifically because they wanted to have a good comedy club experience.
And they wanted laughter to be in the room.
Right. And I love some of these chains, they build a new room and it's got a fucking balcony. Here's a news flash. Balconies don't work with comedy.
Not at all. Or plays, if you see what happened to Lincoln.
And no one's happy in a balcony. If you're in the balcony, it means you bought your tickets late or you're a cheap fuck.
Yeah.
And you're not experiencing the show. You're watching the audience watch the show.
They're terrible.
No matter how, even if it's super close, it's still the nosebleeds.
Right.
Like you're still that guy.
Yeah.
Theater balcony is different because that's a different experience, like a giant... But a comedy club balcony is very difficult.
Yeah.
To, especially when it's empty.
Yeah.
Ooh. But then again, the people on the ground think you're sold out. That's what's funny.
Right.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Is that true?
No.
I just did Philly. Philly Helium's a great club.
Very good club, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. But all three of his clubs are good. He has that one, he has Buffalo, and he has
three.
Portland.
He's got like 5.
Oh, does he really?
Portland, Buffalo, St. Louis.
Oh.
Charlie Goodnight's in Raleigh, North Carolina is now owned by him.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And I want to say there's one in Phoenix. And he just told me he's opening another one in a city I can't announce yet.
That guy's a fucking animal. Good.
Wow.
But he does them right. He builds good fucking rooms. And then he has his existing managers will fly out and they train the staff of like, here's how to tell people to be quiet. Here's how to see from the front. Here's how to treat the comedians. And you get the same experience at all of his clubs.
That's good to know.
Mark Grossman is the guy's name.
Yeah, the more clubs there are, the more you can like work if things go fucking south.
Exactly.
Like, I'm always expecting to get fired from radio. So I'm like, hey, if it happens, at least there's
It's like the third time you've brought it up, so it must be omnipresent on your mind.
Well, I'm saying that it's the only like quote unquote. I mean, there's the podcast is one thing, but this is like it's like having a steady real job.
Right.
Yeah.
It's weird to be in comedy that you have a steady real
with a paycheck coming in.
Yeah.
And
You get health insurance from Sirius?
No. No.
But you're here full time.
Independent contractor.
Yes.
Yeah. No. I get nothing. No
what
insurance.
What happened to that? What happened to? And nobody has health insurance.
They just, again, in our business, you're an independent contractor.
Yeah.
Get your own health insurance, motherfuckers.
I think it depends how you start. I'm not an independent contractor.
You're not.
Oh, shit. Little riff. I created a riff between Jim and
Not
Sam.
at all. I wouldn't want to work with him if he was. I like that he's a fucking company whore.
That's right. And they also made it up to Jim by paying him much, much, much more than me.
Oh, he makes a lot more.
Oh, yeah. So
I don't know what Sam makes. I don't want to know. I didn't know what Opie made or Opie and Anthony when I worked with them either. I knew they made more than me.
You don't make 6 figures, do you?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. I figured that you did.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were asking if I made 7.
Oh, no,
I don't. I do not.
If you had said yes that you made 7, I'd be like, I have to actually leave and go talk to somebody right now.
That's what I thought you were asking me compared to 7. I'm like,
are you making 6 figures?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah.
He better be.
Yeah.
All right, so you're making deep 6 figures then.
I don't know what he's making. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. I mean, it's time to renegotiate. I'm not thrilled.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's before we talk about being happy.
Have you ever been warned by the station about something that you said on the air?
Honestly,
I'm not 100% convinced they've ever heard a Jim and Sam show.
I'm not either. Sometimes,
based on feedback.
Yeah. Is it bad when you're walking down the hall and Scott Greenstein puts out his hand and introduces himself? They don't fuck with us for content. Like once, maybe a couple times, Don has said, "Hey, you may want to," but it's never been dickish. That's one thing they've never fucked with us about his content. Don't say that.
Right.
A couple of times Don has asked little things, but it's very minor.
I've been on for 10 years, and I've never once been told what to say or not say.
Which means they're either really liberal with language or they just don't listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a combination
It's
of things.
both.
Yeah.
It's both. I think they don't listen because of that. They're like, I don't care what they're talking about, so
I don't
why,
want to know.
why do I need to listen?
There's no trouble. I don't want to know.
Right.
That's basically, because then they have plausible deniability. Oh, I didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Right. But that's why there's so much middle management. They're like, no, we hire people because that way, if somebody says something they're not supposed to, we can just ask the middle management, why didn't you tell me that they said that thing?
Yeah.
Like, that's all, the whole job description, but I don't even think they're listening.
So you still do your podcast as well?
Well, I do Chip Chipperson podcast. I've been doing a little over a year, and then the UFC, I do their podcast twice a week.
Right.
With my friend Matt. We have to get in it. I love Matt Secker.
Yeah, he's great.
But yeah, those are. I mean, Chip is my own thing, so I could do that forever. But that's not. That doesn't generate revenue. It's just fun.
Yeah.
A little bit, but nothing.
Right. Nothing to write home.
No. I make a living doing it.
Speaking of
not six figures.
No. Well, depends where you put the decimal point. Yeah, but
speaking of revenue, did you hear O.J. Simpson being the hero of the day?
I love O.J. I mean, he's a good guy. Yeah.
Did you hear? Greg, did you hear what happened with O.J.?
No, what happened? Where is he? Down in Florida? Is he in Florida?
I think
now?
Vegas.
I think Vegas too.
I hope he's in Vegas. I want to meet OJ when I go to Vegas.
Just lose your wallet. He found somebody's wallet and he dropped it off to them. OJ, he said, and this was a great quote. He said that he also knows, he felt sympathy for the guy because he knows what it's like to be caught in a stressful situation.
He does, of course.
Well, and also I think he learned from the waiter who returned Ron Goldman's glasses that it's just nice. It's a nice thing to do.
Right. Wouldn't it have been poetic justice if he was returning a wallet to some woman?
Stepped into a murder?
Yeah. And the ex-husband just came and killed OJ.
Oh, that is funny. Yeah, you're right.
I'd be terrified. He said he looked up the guy's address. Obviously he's got the driver's license and everything. He looked up the guy's address and found him to give him his wallet back.
Yeah.
But I mean, if OJ is coming up to your house and you've never met this guy before, oh my God, is that terrifying?
How surreal is it? That would be surreal to open your door and OJ's there with your wallet.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think first? Do you think football player? Do you think naked gun? Do you think murderer? If he's at your door.
Or if you don't recognize him, do you see black guy?
Or just black guy. Yeah.
Or, I see them all together. It's like Father, Son, Holy Ghost. It's a trinity. You see them all.
Yeah, I see Hertz rent a car. I see guy running through the airport.
Yeah, I think I see down on his luck OJ. I see OJ when he was doing that show Juiced. When he's trying to do a prank show. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I feel like if I saw OJ at my house, all the sort of good things would go away and it'd just be like, murderer. There's a murderer here. Oh my God.
You don't always, like, I just went out to the bathroom and there was a well-known gentleman who was taking a photo and there was nobody around.
You don't want to say?
No, I don't care. It was Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
But he's so famous that I'm like, that guy looks like Jesse Jackson. And I stood there and stared at him and he was talking and I'm like, like, you don't expect to see somebody that famous in front of you for no reason.
Yeah.
And that's probably how it is when O.J. Simpson comes up to you. He just knocks on the door and you're like, all right, this guy looks like O.J.
Yeah,
it's
right.
not him.
Right.
It's clearly not
And
OJ.
you're a white guy and that's a black guy. You don't want to go, hey, are you? And then they go, no.
Yeah, right.
Like, you don't ever want to. I met Ben Vereen once in the street, but it's embarrassing. You don't want to go, hey, Ben Vereen. And then all of a sudden it's not Ben Vereen.
Right. I was playing golf with, Jackie Flynn? Comic Jackie Flynn?
Yes.
He's from Boston, real like Boston guy.
Yeah, I know who he is and I think I've met him.
Yeah. His family, they have the deep fried, what do you call the fried dough at the Zeppelis or whatever?
Zeppeli, sure.
They got the Zeppeli concession at all the big fairs and events in New England. So like that's where their money comes from. Why does that matter? But it's just funny to me.
What an odd thing to have. There's good money in it too.
It's great money.
Zeppeli money?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got that family Zeppeli money.
Absolutely. Everyone frowns on Zeppeli fortunes.
That's right.
No, they're six figures.
They don't take it seriously.
And so me and Jackie are going to play golf up in the valley. And O.J. Simpson, got kicked out of all the private clubs. And so he was relegated to going to public golf courses to play. So we walk up to the starter's gate, and it's just me and Jackie. So what they do is they pair you up to make a foursome. So we check in, and they go, all right, you guys are going to be playing with these two guys over there. And we look to our right, and it's O.J. Simpson and a friend of his.
Wow.
And I look up to the sky, and I thank the comedy gods for what will be one day my Tonight Show panel talk. And I shake his hand, I go, nice to meet you. I shake his friend's hand, nice to meet you. And Jackie spins around and he goes, no fucking way I'm playing with a murderer. This guy's a fucking murderer. And OJ just walks away, and I was like, Jackie, I will fucking kill you. I go, can you imagine playing 5 hours alone on the course with OJ, and you don't bring it up right away?
No.
You get to know him, everything's cool, and then like on the 11th hole, you're standing over a putt, and you just look up at him and you go, OJ, if I make this, you got to tell me.
I would have been furious.
Yeah, I was furious.
Why would he do that? I think maybe he just believed that he wanted to do it.
Some people were so irate. To me, it was like people kill each other all the time.
Technically, Jackie's probably right. Like, I'm mad for you because I would have wanted the picture and the story.
You can play golf with a murderer.
Technically, Jackie is right.
Why
he
can't you
stood
play
up for something he believed in. It's easy.
No, you can play golf with a murderer. It's just golf.
Hey, he earned his freedom.
That's right. And he's not technically a murderer. That's right.
Was this before or after out of jail from Vegas? Oh, it's before, obviously.
Yes.
Many years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. We actually have to let Greg go. I'm being told you.
Where's he going?
Fast.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's not our... Where?
Nikki Glazer.
Oh, Nikki. Okay. Yes. Greg Fitzsimmons has a wonderful radio show here on Sirius XM as well as a podcast. And is a writer on Crashing.
And some tour dates coming up.
And
yes.
tour dates.
Greg's a really, really funny comedian. He's going to be a comedy on the Carlson at the Carlson in Rochester. Is that a new club or no?
No, it's been around.
That's the one that's been around.
Yeah.
Okay. And October 1920, the Connection in East Providence, Rhode Island. He's a really, really funny stand-up. And you do a great podcast, dude. I love doing your show.
Thanks, man. I
great
appreciate
interviewer, a really comfortable guy. It's at Greg Fitz Show, Fitz. And he's had Bill Nye, David Cross, Moshe Kasher, Natasha, of course, Tom Arnold, and Joe Perry. How great is fucking Tom Arnold?
He is maybe my favorite podcast.
Is he amazing?
Yeah,
he'll
he's
talk
amazing.
about... he screams and he'll talk about anything.
Unless you're on CNN. Then he keeps his fucking mouth shut.
Did he?
You didn't see that clip?
No.
Okay, we should play it when we get back then.
I did not, but I know we had Roger Stone and Tom Arnold.
Roger Stone lied to us, huh?
Did he?
Didn't they say something about there was evidence that he was had stuff going on with Russia? It was like a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. We should get Roger back in here, though.
You guys sound like really astute political analysts.
I don't know.
I know. Didn't the guy lie? I don't know when. What'd he say?
I don't know.
Two assholes. You're right.
I think OJ did it. I think he was right.
I don't really know much about this Roger Stone. He's been on the show a bunch and he gets people all upset, but I don't know who he is. I don't know what he does.
Greg is right. We're goddamn fools.
All right, we'll take a break.
All right.
Thank you, Greg.
Guys.
Thanks,
We'll be right back.
We'll be back with more.
Test your mind.
Shut the fuck up, okay? Shut.
Mortal Kombat.
You stupid fucking blabbermouth cunt!
Mortal Kombat.
I could listen to that
Ruining
little,
such a good song.
I could listen to that little weirdo all day.
All right. We're
So,
back.
Troy.
Nope.
Bad news, bud.
What's that?
No aliens.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's it's
Humans are alone. Here's what I'm going to guess. I have not seen this.
Tell me.
I'm guessing that they're saying that the odds, the things that need to line up for life to happen, like the amount of things that have to happen in a row and perfectly for us to have come into existence is too rare or numerically too crazy for it to have happened twice.
They basically just said the probability is that there is no life and there has never been any proof that there is. So they're saying that if there was, there would have been proof by now.
They're such fucking idiots.
Why?
Because we're in our infancy as far as we've been technologically doing stuff since what, the 1950s, 60s, like in exploring space?
We had telescopes before then.
Yeah, exactly, telescopes. How far do you see with telescopes?
You can see into space with a telescope.
You could see into space, but you can't see onto individual planets.
No, you can't.
You can't see individual planets in fucking Andromeda, which our nearest neighbor. These scientists are dopes.
Okay, this is from Oxford University.
Exactly. I've been there. I dropped out. Too stupid.
They came to the conclusion that humans are alone in the universe while examining the so-called Fermi paradox, which ponders why scientists believe in extraterrestrials despite having zero proof. Quote, we find a substantial probability of there being no intelligent life in our observable universe, and thus that there should be little surprise when we fail to detect any signs of it. There's likely no intelligent life outside of Earth, so there's no need to waste time theorizing about humanity's relationship with aliens, notes the paper dubbed Dissolving the Fermi Paradox. The paradox, named after the physicist Enrico Fermi, questions how there could be a high probability of extraterrestrial life when there's no solid proof. There should be little surprise when we fail to detect any signs of aliens, it notes.
Well, there's probably a lot of other things we couldn't detect at first.
Like what? Cancer?
No, but I mean on other planets. Like black holes were theorized before they were detected. Wormholes are theorized. I don't know if they've been detected yet. But, Stephen Hawking kind of saw these things. And I think common sense dictates that just with so many fucking stars that could possibly have planets around them, the odds are just silly that we are the only ones.
It also says, scientifically, we have yet to have an individual bring a body into the town square.
Oh, right. That is correct.
So...
Comment, Troy?
That asshole. Fuck that guy.
So look,
I love him. I
think he's great.
He's great.
I don't.
Troy takes umbrage with them because he didn't understand why he didn't think a stoner that watches Ancient Aliens is his intellectual equal.
Well, you know what it is? He's
he's just an astrophysicist.
He's a science-based fellow. He's a guy who demands a certain amount. There's a certain level of proof he requires, and that's how he lives his life as a scientist.
What do you think? What do you think of this? Oxford University, though, is now saying odds are no aliens.
I mean, there's so much evidence out there that something exists.
Like what?
Well, we've gone over it dozens of times. I mean, there's video that the government.
Are you talking about that video of the guy who had the guy in an alien costume just jump up and down outside of his window?
That was real.
I'm sorry.
That's not what I'm talking about.
You're right. That was real.
He fucking filmed it.
I know.
Yeah, there's just a lot of things that are unexplainable, and are they aliens or not? Who knows? But there's just things that would point to there's something else going on that we don't understand.
I think the Oxford lawyers the scientists are fucking idiots.
Can you give me an example of a body being found in a town square?
No, I can think of one that I'd love to be found in a town square, but no, I cannot give an example.
Troy,
but again, that doesn't mean anything.
Yes, it does. Neil deGrasse Tyson said so. It doesn't,
because we are so, again, technologically, we're so new. That's why Contact is such a brilliant movie. That Jodie Foster McConaughey movie is so brilliant. We're so new on a fucking a universal scale or a galaxy scale, however you want to, the scale of time.
Galactic.
Yeah, it's galactic. I don't want to use that word.
But it's cool.
It is. But we haven't been here long enough. We're just starting to, they said that Hitler's speech was the first one that went out all over the world.
That's not the best thing to start with.
Well, yeah, I mean, you don't always want to start with a lighthearted.
Yeah. It's getting off on a bad foot.
Hindsight being 20/20, that wasn't the right way to go.
No.
But you know what I mean? Like, we're infants when it comes to how long we've been here. And to think that there couldn't be another species out there that's been there, it's just silly.
But they're saying probably not.
We don't have the ability to find the proof. Maybe we're not advanced enough, you dopes, to find the proof. We would have found it by now. Shut the fuck up.
I love that you're calling them dopes as if this stuff didn't occur to them.
Apparently it didn't. Or it occurred to them and they're dopes because they avoided it to write a paper that they knew would get a little bit of ink.
That's more
what
likely.
This is about. These guys want you to go, what?
This is
Shut up.
Look at our findings. We have findings. It was worth putting all that money into it.
I don't like that they say we would have found it by now.
Yeah, we would have found it.
First of all, Einstein's theory of relativity. Yeah, equals very good, brilliant. It's not the be-all, end-all.
It's pretty good.
Some guy on a blackboard didn't figure it out. Only a few years into technological advancement. I'm sorry. It just didn't happen.
We got iPhones now, though. You'd think we would have been able to talk to aliens on them.
What about other dimensions? We'll find stuff.
Exactly.
Happening?
We just won't live to see it.
We just don't understand going into other dimensions. Things have happened.
I know. I understand it.
I'm sure you do. Wow. I'm sure that Dr. Doobie would understand going into different dimensions, Chip.
But I mean, those do exist. We just don't understand them.
Yeah.
We don't. You can. I mean, like the Bermuda,
Theoretically, they exist, or they definitely exist.
they definitely exist. I mean, the Bermuda Triangle. There has been some crazy shit that's happened in that area.
Yeah, but that could just be
weather patterns.
Yeah, shit.
And Earth's magnetic pole or something.
Well,
yeah.
there are. I mean, there are people, and again, it doesn't say that this is it, but there are people that have disappeared and then reappeared at later times in different areas, and they can't explain. Time doesn't. They don't understand. It just feels like they just like blink their eyes and they're there. That's unexplainable. So there are things that we just don't understand.
Yeah.
That exist.
Well, yeah. No, I think I think that you could have things that we don't understand. I don't think anybody's saying that everything is explainable, I suppose.
But then the government released video of things flying through air that they don't know what it is.
Well, those guys didn't know what it was.
The government. I mean, if don't you think if somebody's monitoring our air, they should probably know what that is? And if they don't know what that is,
That's why we need a Space Force.
That's right.
That's why the Space Force. Have you thought about applying for it?
I thought about it.
I don't think it'd be a bad idea.
No.
Yeah.
I'd be pretty badass. I think you get a lot of chicks.
You think so?
You could hang your tits out the fucking window to get them nice and cold from space.
He got his tits done. They don't hang anymore.
No, I hang them out the. Push them out the fucking
for
space
the next round of.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let space, which is very cold.
That's right.
Eat away at your tits for a few seconds.
That's right. Are there any tit holes in this spaceship?
No, they could work on that.
Yeah, yeah. You could ask.
Suck all the air out.
Right.
Let your little titties get all fucking icy.
Chicks would go crazy if they found out you're on the Space Force.
Fuck yeah.
Because girls like uniforms, girls like space, girls like important people.
Yep.
And you'd be all those things if you were on Space Force.
That's right.
I think it's a good idea.
We would have found proof already.
Yeah, I don't know what this article doesn't actually say.
We don't even
anything.
know much about quantum fit. What are they talking about?
I think it's just a headline. The article
That's
really,
all it is. It's a bullshit article.
It says nothing. It's just scientists saying like, yeah, there's no aliens.
Knocking Fermi.
Like tomorrow, other scientists could come out and be like, hey, there's probably aliens. Oh, that's a headline. Like, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
I don't know if there is, but yeah, there's no solid proof yet.
Right. Yeah, to have no solid proof just means that. All that means is we don't know.
Yeah, we haven't proven it yet.
Right. But there's no solid proof that there isn't. Right? Right?
I just think numerically, the amount of possibilities, it's silly to think that we just happen to be it.
It's very egotistical, isn't it?
It's asshole-ish.
Yeah. Although I do think we lived on Mars, like the humans lived on Mars and then came to Earth, and we're going to end up going back to the place that we already came from and be like, oh, fuck. That was dumb.
That's not true.
That's what I think.
We didn't live on Mars.
Well, not you and I.
I mean, we, the collective species.
I saw a picture of Mars, and it looked like a dried up Earth. And I was like, yeah, we probably lived on Mars.
I've seen that dumb face on Mars.
Well, I'm not talking about the face on Mars, but I know what you're talking about.
Stinks.
The face stinks?
Stinks. It's not a fucking sphinx head, you idiots.
I don't know. Could be. Matt in Missouri?
Hey, like Jim was just saying, that is mathematically, I mean, you take a drinking straw and you aim it up anywhere in the sky.
Right.
Look through that little hole.
Right.
They say there are thousands of galaxies within that little spot you see, and each galaxy contains billions of stars. So it's mathematically impossible that, I mean, if we were an accident thrown on Earth, there's life. It's gotta be somewhere else.
So this says that they don't think there's any life in our observable universe, which definitely gives them some wiggle room.
Yeah.
To be like, oh, well, we didn't observe that. There might be some over there. So that really, our observable universe is really just the galaxy, right? Like it's really just the Milky Way.
I mean, not even. We can't even. We see the Milky Way.
But we don't even know what's going on.
We can't see fucking planets rotating. I mean, yeah, once in a while you'll catch a blip somewhere and another. There's a lot of shit we can't see.
Like how far is our observable universe, would you say?
I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, it's we can go all the way back into other galaxies. Our observable universe, they're probably seeing almost to the beginning of time. That's my guess. When they say observable universe, they are probably saying through the Hubble, seeing back. I forget how close to the beginning of time we can see, but it's actually closer than you think.
That is fucking crazy, what you just said. You can see the beginning of time through a telescope.
You can. I mean, we can't, but I mean, we're closer to it. I think they said what's blocking us.
Meaning if you look into space, you'll see time?
Deep enough. They're trying to see the Big Bang. Deep enough because they're saying that, I guess, the evidence of the light would still be there. The light would still be there.
Oh, because it hasn't traveled.
Well, it's traveled. We just can't see it.
Right.
And they said that I think there's some sort of a cluster. Dr. Steve would would know about this. Do you want to try to get Dr. Steve on the phone?
Well, if we can't get Dr. Steve, we should probably get Michio Kaku.
Dr. Steve's probably busy on Howard's channel.
He probably is.
See if you can get Howard's
I'll give him
favorite scientist on.
I'll give him a call.
Is Dr. Steve a scientist?
He was a physics major, too. He's a really brilliant guy. Let's see if Howard will let him come on. Yeah, I got to go. Robin needs me to...
He doesn't like Michio Kaku, Dr. Steve.
Yeah, that guy's an asshole.
He doesn't like him.
But I forget how close we are to seeing the beginning. Again, we may never... But that's what I think the Hubble was built for, was to try to see. But there's some sort of I don't want to say a gas cluster, but there's something that we can't
blocking
see
it
through. Yeah.
Let's go to Chuck in Boston. What's up, Chuck?
Hey.
Hey.
Last, when you guys first started talking about the Space Force, Jim, you didn't understand why we would need to go to the moon, and I think it's because we need to build a base to where we can launch from the moon to Mars and also to have storage. And also, Trump wants to build a detention center for when the real illegal aliens show up.
Look, I'll ignore the second half, but the first part might be, you might be right about that. It might be, although I don't know if you need to launch from the moon. I mean, like any problems you have launching from Earth, it's just fuel.
Right.
The only thing that you lose launching from Earth is the fact that you have to push the rocket up. But I mean, it takes a few minutes to get into space.
If we were to invest the money in 2018, if we had the technology to go to the moon 40 years ago, in 2018, we have the technology to launch from Earth to go to Mars if we wanted to.
I think we can, because the way it works is you aim towards something, and a lot of times, like when they're shooting things into, like, you know, things that are going into deep space, they're being kind of boomeranged around other planets or a slingshot around planets. So it'll hook up by Jupiter, it'll get caught in Jupiter's, on the outside of Jupiter's gravity, and then fucking fling off the other side and pick up speed. That's how they move.
But what would it sound like? Whoa! Wow! You can hear him every morning on the Howard Stern Show. Dr. Steve!
Hey, how are you?
What's up, Dr. Steve?
Good morning, boys.
Hi, now, we're talking about the observable universe.
And we couldn't find Michio Kaku, so we decided to call you.
I get it.
Now, Oxford released that study where they said that they don't think there's any life because it hasn't been found yet. How big is the observable universe?
Okay, so the universe is 13.5 billion years old. So if we're at the center of a sphere that is 13 billion light years in diameter, in radius, then the observable universe would be right around 27 billion light years. And so the universe may be infinite, but there are parts of it that are inaccessible to us because we would have to travel faster than the speed of light to get there. So
let me ask you too. Can I ask you while you're saying this? Talking about seeing the Big Bang or the theory of seeing the beginning of time. How close the Hubble can't? What is it that the Hubble or telescopes can't see through, and how close are we? We got closer than people would have thought.
Okay, so here's the thing: when the Big Bang happened, there was this period of inflation. It happened just, almost instantaneously, where the universe expanded faster than the speed of light. And you see, space can move faster than the speed of light. It's just things can't move faster than light, or massless particles in space. So the universe did this, and then all this energy flooded in because of, you've got to balance the negative energy of this expansion with some sort of positive energy, so that the net energy of the universe is probably zero, which is really interesting because you really do get something from nothing. Now, when this thing expanded, it was completely opaque because in the beginning it was these crazy fundamental particles, and then it sort of distilled down to where it was ionized particles, which have been very bright. And then as the universe continued to expand, these particles started to combine, positive protons combined with negative electrons, and all of a sudden the universe became neutral and clear.
So at that moment, all of that light that was shooting around now has the ability to propagate throughout the universe. Now, as the universe expands, the wavelength of that light keeps dropping. Okay, as you've heard of redshifting. This is extreme redshift.
Mm-hmm.
Those photons that started out being ultraviolet or X-rays are now in the microwave wavelength because the space has expanded so much that those wavelengths have spread out. So we can see the Big Bang. It's just we can't see it with our eyes because the wavelength is below that of visible light. It's in the microwave, and you can detect that using microwave detection.
So I gotta be honest. I was following Dr. Steve for about 15 seconds, and then I started just thinking about that little kid singing the Mortal Kombat song.
Yeah, no, I know.
I'm sorry.
No, that's not your fault.
No.
I'm stupid. That's not your fault.
So let me ask you a question, and this is where it gets weird. I know things. They say that it traveled faster than the speed of light, because it was the universe itself expanding, and it wasn't going through space. So what was it expanding through that it could travel faster than the speed of light?
It's not expanding through anything, unless you look at sort of higher dimensional space. There's this idea that there are these multiple universes and they're inaccessible to us. And there's this one group of people that are doing this experiment. They think that if another universe actually bumped into our universe in this whatever quasi sort of meta space, that we should be able to detect that. And they actually published a paper where they think maybe they saw something. It shows sort of a ring in the sky in the deep in the deep microwaves that they claim may be a sign that another universe bumped into ours at some point during our development. So it's space is space. It's not opening up into anything. That's the crazy thing about this. Is if you think of you get a balloon and put a couple of dots on there, and then blow up the balloon, you'll see those dots moving farther and farther away from each other. But they're not really expanding into anything. They're just part of that balloon as it expands. They are, but, I mean, there's an outside world around the balloon. So isn't there an outside thing that space is expanding into? That's a shitty analogy, but, you know. No, but I mean, but if space was expanding, we just don't know what it was yet, but I still think it was expanding into something. The fact that it can move faster than...
space is inside of something?
It has to be.
No, space is space.
Yeah, it's these things are so hard for our brains to wrap themselves around that what a lot of the scientists will say, and this relates to quantum physics as well, because it's so counterintuitive. They say, just shut up and calculate. You know, the calculations work out, and trying to, it's like, how does the brain work in the sense that we have consciousness? The conscious human brain can't, or it's very difficult for us to conceive how the conscious human brain works, because it's having to be recursive. You know, we're having to look at ourselves and our own programming, and it's very difficult for us to do it. We live inside this universe. It's very difficult for us as mammals that were designed to just run away from saber-toothed tigers to conceive of higher dimensions and things like that. The only way we can really do it is by allegory.
So,
is by what?
Allegory.
Allegory, like thinking, like, have you ever read that book, Flat World, where they're these
I edited that
creatures?
Book.
Well, they're these two-dimensional creatures, and then a third-dimensional creature sort of invades their space, and they show how that appear in front of us.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
I do. I've tweeted similar things.
But number one,
anyway.
Do you think that there's aliens? And number two, if yes, why has there not been a body brought to the town square?
Fair enough.
Okay, so this Drake equation thing, all they did was really change the measurement of error.
Hold on, Sam is making a stupid Drake joke. It's the cakes. Go on now.
Not the sixth god?
Oh, heckles.
So the
sorry, Dr. Steve.
That's totally fine. The Drake equation is this long equation that just sort of estimates how likely it is that life is in the universe. And it's a whole lot of little numbers that you multiply together, and all of them are less than 1. So that, as you continue to multiply them, the number gets smaller and smaller.
Yay.
Right? But if you're biased toward thinking there's life on Earth, you can tweak those, or not life on Earth, but life on other planets. You can tweak those numbers to make it look really optimistic. And what these guys did in this most recent research was to make more realistic adjustments of the error of those numbers. And what they came up with is that there's a 38% chance that we are alone in the observable universe, and that's a huge damn number. Now, that also means it's still more likely than not that we're not alone. But some of the solutions to the Drake equation prior to this showed that there should be hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of civilizations just in our own galaxy, and these guys are saying that may not be the case.
What are they saying? That the things that have to line up for life to happen, the amount of things that had to happen in a row chemically and with everything is so astronomically low, the odds of that.
Right. Yeah, there's so many things that just have to happen. Now, look, you can say there's no white crows, right? Because we never seen one. But
no what?
One white crows.
Okay.
If you see one white
I've
crow,
fucked a few. There's a bunch of white pigs, I'll tell you that much.
It's an old philosophical argument.
Right. There's no white crows until you see a white crow.
Yep.
Trying to prove a negative. So if we find another alien civilization, we can communicate with them, then we'll learn a lot more. If we go to Titan, for example, and find life, or if we go to Mars and find life there, it's going to be more likely
Good luck
that
with
life
Mars.
is common. You know?
Well, thank you, Dr. Steve, for clarifying that and making it simple for all of us to understand.
Go fuck yourself, Sam.
Exactly. Fucking wait, Drake. What's he fucking rapping?
Okay. Okay.
Wait, what? What's got you laughing today?
Okay.
Damn genius.
Thank you, Dr. Steve.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot, man.
Okay, man.
Talk to you later.
Yeah, see, Dr. Steve knows physics very well. He's I think a physics major.
I think he made most of that shit up.
He did. He didn't know what he's talking about.
He didn't.
It's not Drake. It's Jack.
Like Jack Hay?
Yeah.
I see.
He's such a smart guy.
I see. While we've got time, we should talk about Permit Patty a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, she got a bad rap. Let's be real honest.
Well,
we know it. I know it. You know it. The American people know it.
Here's the thing. I think Permit Patty's timing was not that great because Barbecue Becky had just happened. You guys remember Barbecue Becky was the woman who called because there were a bunch of people having a barbecue, so she called the police. Well, Permit Patty broke over the weekend, and she called the police because there was a girl selling water outside of her, like on her stoop or whatever. And the mother filmed this woman calling police, and she went everywhere. Unfortunately, physically, she has a lot in common with Barbecue Becky. Heavyset white woman on a cell phone. So that didn't do her any favors either. I still think
she looked like her.
She did. She's a shitty person, I think, because she's calling the police on a girl selling water. Who cares? But I didn't see it was not necessarily racial.
No, it wasn't racial at all. She heard
they
the
turned
girl
it
making
into
noise.
a
It's not
racial
racial.
thing.
It's not racial.
Although this did remind me of, like, yesterday we were talking about Childish Gambino stealing the song. It kind of made me feel like, for whatever reason, she was stealing Barbecue Becky's thunder.
Maybe.
Because I don't understand. This wasn't a thing until now it's a thing.
Well, she wasn't calling the police on the kid. The mother had said to her, according to her, mother called, so she called the police, ask. She was just trying to get them to move the kid because the kid was being loud while she was working.
But then she actually called the police.
To ask if you need a permit. She wasn't calling them on the kid. She called to say, do you need a permit?
That's her excuse?
Yeah,
I mean, nobody calls the police to ask, do you need a permit? Okay, I was just curious.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to get them out of there. But I don't think she called the police on the kid.
Well, she called the police to get them out of there.
No, just to find out if they needed a permit, because then she could say to the lady, nope, you need a permit. I don't know. That's what she said.
But the logical next step is the lady going, well, we're not moving, and she's going, okay, well, then I'm going to call the police.
Maybe.
You don't call the police. You don't call the police just to find out.
In arguments, it's weird, man. Like,
she's obviously in this rage space, right?
If someone says to her, call the police and find out, you might go, I will. And that it's almost like you're in it. And if a woman you're arguing with and you're like, look, miss, your kid's making a lot of noise. Well, she's not moving. Well, okay, well, your next thing is, well, you need a permit to be here. No, I don't. Yeah, you do. All right, you don't believe me? Call the police. Find out. Okay, I will.
Oh, what am I doing? What am I doing?
You're calling the cops to see if an 8-year-old can sell water.
Yeah, I think people need to control themselves a little bit. We know what world we're living in. But if you're going to call the cops on somebody or about a permit for somebody, however you want to phrase it, just make sure that it's actually there's something going on there that deserves the police attention. And this is coming from a guy that called 911 for a flat tire. So I get it.
Yeah.
Calling 911 and the police for terrible reasons.
Yep.
But this is ridiculous. This is insane. There's actually a news clip that I want to play. I sent it to you on Tuesday, I believe, or Monday night or whatever it was, of her reacting to all of this stuff. It wasn't last night. They're probably right at the top of your email. I see it.
Hermit Patty.
See,
I love the names they give these
that
people.
one. Yeah, exactly. Permit Patty. I don't know. There's a Permit Patty link. Some you could just look up her on the news. There it is. That's it.
You want her giving her side of the story?
Yeah, that's it. I think you got it.
Got it.
Yeah, let's listen. Permit Patty, and for some reason, she decided to go out and do interviews, which is the stupidest thing you could do. Because she's like, don't worry, I'll justify it. Because once people, the same way when you get in a rage space, when Permit Patty gets in a rage space, and she finds herself calling the police on an 8-year-old for selling water, even though normally she wouldn't, she's just all worked up with emotions. What happens is everybody comes out with their pitchforks. They want to see Permit Patty get in trouble. They're fucking with her.
Sure.
They're fucking with her, the people she does business with, which is unnecessary.
Yeah.
And so she thinks that going and doing the news and justifying and giving her side of the story is going to help. But in reality, people get bloodthirsty.
Because they don't care. Although it did help, though, because I heard her and I heard her reason made sense.
But you weren't the one getting her in trouble.
No. Permit Patty, look, she's going to do what she wants to do. But
did you say what?
Permit Patty.
You didn't even say anything after that. You just said she's going to do what she wants to do. You just wanted to say the name like that.
No, I didn't.
It's just they didn't add anything.
I didn't.
I like dicks. It doesn't help. Yeah, see, you will watch stuff like that and be like, okay, I can kind of see where she's coming from.
Yeah, Permit Patty just likes to be
all
on
right,
the
just
phone.
play the clip. Just play the goddamn clip.
She listened to her 8-year-old neighbor loudly selling bottled water in front of her apartment building.
I just couldn't get any work done.
Edo says when she asked her building
By the way,
security guard
what work was she getting done? You know what she does for a living? She makes weed treats for pets. That's her job. And and the big thing was that one of the chains of stores that sells marijuana treats for pets that she makes weren't going to sell them anymore because she's Permit Patty. Which the whole thing is insane.
It's fucking crazy.
It's fucking crazy, is right.
It's fucking crazy.
Do you have any idea what's going on? Okay, fuck. We'll go back to the news clip then.
Couldn't get any work done.
Edo says
Well, you know what she yelled when there was something happening? She was so mad, she just leaned out the window.
What's the hullabaloo? And I'll ram it up your box.
Really? Push two buttons?
I didn't mean to. I meant to hit one.
I didn't think you did.
Boo.
You know what was distracting her? The whole time she's working.
No.
She's trying to fill out paperwork.
No.
And all she hears is this.
No,
yes, she does.
No, she didn't. No.
Where did you learn your trade, you stupid fucking cunt, you idiot?
Just on her stoop. It's being shouted.
You stupid fucking cunt.
That's poor kid.
You talking about me or the kid?
Blabbermouth cunt.
Both of you.
Mortal Kombat! Do, 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 do.
Oh, I'm going to come.
Okay. Send me a copy of that statement. I'm dying to see that.
Let's go back to Permit Patty.
Any work done.
Edo says when she asked her building security guard to intervene, nothing happened. So she came out to talk to Jordan Rogers' mother.
I said, please, I'm trying to work. You're screaming, you're yelling. And people have open windows. It's a hot day. Can you please keep it down?
Hold on a second.
Daddy like.
Did you just figure out how to put the chip soundboard up?
Yeah, why are you doing that?
Excuse me?
Separate shows.
Oh, now. Talk at me, Travis. What's got you laughing today?
Okay.
Good. Somebody knows how to change.
Cut that part out.
He just changed to his chip
Go ahead,
soundboard.
sorry. Go back.
Because once a week isn't enough, huh? No. No, it isn't.
be here.
Edel says she questioned whether the girl needed a permit to sell water.
You believe her story, Permit Patty's story, word for word? You think she just came out
Permit
calmly?
Patty was just mad because the kid was being loud. She's trying to work her windows open. You know, the kid's yelling like a barker in fucking Wrigley Field. Get your water here! Get your water here! Water here! And she's probably like, all right.
She's trying to drug some pets.
She's just annoyed. The lady's just annoyed.
She's just trying to figure out how much THC needs to go into these biscuits. You know, all she needs is a little peace and quiet.
That's all this is people just get mad at each other and we get impatient. It's hot. There's always more violence than people arguing in the summer. It's fucking hot. And she was just cranky.
But the
kid was being loud and she just, whatever. It happens. It's not a fucking news story.
The problem is...
A lady got mad at a kid. Gives a fuck.
Problem is now, people make it racial every time. And I don't see the racial component of this one. It's a black girl, and Permit Patty is a Caucasian female, and I guess it does fit the description of the last one, but I just don't... Like, there is no evidence. The same way there's no evidence that there's aliens. There's no evidence here that Permit Patty called because the girl was black. The evidence is that Permit Patty called because the girl was selling water. Or am I crazy?
No, you're right.
Good. Get back to
Says
it.
she called police to ask them if indeed a permit was required. She says she never asked the police to respond.
There was no point in having the police come. That wasn't it. I just wanted them to be quiet or move to a corner. They were being disruptive.
Cold water.
She also said she
Okay, you're working. Pause. You're working. Cold water. Cold water. Cold water.
Close the window and turn on the air conditioner.
Maybe this broken. But that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, but you still can't.
Water.
It's like the middle of the...
Water. Good.
It's a weekend afternoon.
Water. See?
It's not more annoying than Chip.
It's hard, though.
Yeah, what would you rather outside your
water.
window? Chip or some lady yelling cold water?
Yeah, cold water would be fine.
Step up, get your beverages here.
Then I would call the police.
Go on now. Get down there and lick my asshole.
Yeah, when she says, though, yeah, I called the police, but I wasn't going to ask them to come. Shut up. Shut up.
Don't interrupt me, cunt!
I just dropped my water on the fucking soundboard.
You did it on purpose.
Yeah, it looked very on purpose.
You did it on purpose.
Now, look, dude, I'm trying to talk to you about
I remember.
Oh, sorry. Just
Language. This is my house. Strike a match, then curse the darkness.
And you'll be scraping your nickels off these fine leather seats.
All right.
Why are those even...
I don't know.
Even on there?
I don't know. I didn't put that one on. Dude, I'm trying to talk to you.
What's language?
What's the hell? Okay. I didn't mean to do that.
We're going to crawl to the finish on this one.
I didn't know that you could fucking hit 10 buttons at once.
We're going to crawl to the finish.
Oh, yeah? Okay. Go ahead.
I know what you just did. I saw where your hands moved, and you shifted to the Chip soundboard again.
Not true.
Am I wrong?
Yep.
All right, let's go back to Permit Patty.
Jordan directly.
I only spoke to...
God damn it! You lied. You lied.
The little girl.
Jordan.
Here's the Chip soundboard, Rob. I knew it the whole time.
Oh.
Jim, Jim is like a terrible pilot in the sense that...
Well, Jim shot a few. Thanks, I appreciate that. Yeah,
shot a few pilots?
Terrible ones.
Oh.
All right, hey. Cut that part out. I thought we'd get a laugh.
They say...
fun of myself.
They say
the boss pokes fun.
You could put it in autopilot, and all the engineer...
Oh, now.
All the guy behind the controls really has to do is land the plane.
That's right.
He just can't let this come to a smooth landing for today.
Let's be honest. We didn't go to fucking learn how to land the planes. We learned how to take them off.
The 9/11 hijacker?
Daddy like.
Oh.
A very silly mood. I got a text from my landlord. I'm panicking.
What's the text say?
There's a noise coming from my apartment. He said it sounded like a woman with a penis during jumping. No, he said it's
about right.
It sounds like a fucking drain clogged or something. I'm like, oh, great, it's a fucking pipe gonna burst. But he said, no, there's just they're the plumbers there fixing something.
I hope your punishment for all of this soundboard nonsense is a flooded apartment.
Oh, dude. I have them coming in July for 3 weeks.
The landlord called and he was like, Jim, your apartment's flooded. And Jim was all like,
you're kidding me.
No, Jim said, fudge, yeah.
Santa shitmans.
All right.
Regards.
I have a few.
All right. Well, we're wrapping up. This was fun.
I mean, we still got like a minute.
We're wrapping up.
Less than a minute.
Patty tells her side of the story.
Okay. Thank God everybody. I hope everybody saw the Permit Patty story over the weekend because
They did, yeah.
Unfortunately, we were not the ones to inform you of it.
She
today.
screamed cunt out the window.
She did.
It was inappropriate.
She did. This is actually audio of Permit Patty from her apartment.
I fuck cunt.
It's weird. Her voice sounds deeper in this audio. Yeah,
it does.
But I fuck Nico and I jerk off.
What the hell will Nico's doing?
I saw him the other day. He won a contest for a town hall. He shaved his mustache. I was not happy.
All right, well, go back thicker.
That's right.
See Nico in a couple months.
Jim, are you doing stand-up anywhere? Because apparently you do that.
Montreal, 2 nights. It's in July. Go to jimnorton.com. I'm also doing the Hilarities in Cleveland in August. I got Caroline's coming up in November. I got a bunch. And then Texas has been switched. A couple things have been switched because I have a wedding to go to.
Whose wedding?
Family member.
Are you going to Rob's wedding in August?
We'll see.
Yeah.
When is it in August? I don't know. Check jimnorton.com. Do I have any dates booked?
Scheduled it for 3:30 in the afternoon with the
not too
reception at 6:30.
You can still book a date.
It's
as inconvenient as it gets.
Yeah, it really is a hunk of shit date.
It is.
Friday? Oh.
He wants everybody to take off.
All right, so I'm available August 17, 18. I'm in Cleveland, so yeah.
Fuck.
Chip is almost Chip is selling really well in both, but in Boston there are about 40 or 50 tickets left.
Wow.
For a total sellout. Long Island is still selling well. They opened up in a balcony area, so there's more tickets.